Yo, what's going on everybody? Xanthos Vice here, and we are back with some more Punishing Gray Raven. I hope you guys are having a great day today. Yeah, I decided to do Punishing Gray Raven today, because to be fair, wasn't really doing much today, so I don't really have any limit of time to do it, so figured I can at least try to get 2.5, maybe 3 hours of a stream for the story part, and just save over ways for tomorrow. But yeah, anyway, where we last left off, we had finished the floating record for Discord, and again, it enlightened us on a good number of the details regarding Discord, and again, gave us at least a way to flesh out the Scarab Squad even more than we had before, because again, aside from Yada's floating record and just learning about Short Hulk in two main story chapters, or a main story chapter and a floating record, we haven't really gotten to interact with the Scarab Squad for the most part. Sometimes they appear or they're there, but not like we actually work with them. So it was nice to actually get a more in-depth perspective on it. But yeah, finally we are back to the main fucking story, people. Y'all know I love to see it. But yeah, as you see, I don't have the new character, and the main thing is because I was told by my senpai, Guardian Soulblade, that I can already get the character for free as long as I do the affection story first, instead of having to actually roll for the character. So what I was gonna do, and I am going to do, is I'm going to do that first, and then we are going to go to the main story chapter. Because again, it's I have already most of the pulls I've already done for this, but again, since we're getting a new alpha later on, I might as well just save this up for the time being, so that when we get to alpha, I can already get her in 2 pulls if it takes that long to get it, which it most likely is going to. Then I can just focus on getting her weapon and potentially Cub as well. So that's basically my plan for this. So yeah, let's go ahead and get that first out of the way. Yeah, the Journal of Promise, I believe. But yeah, I don't know if this will spoil me on the main story yet. I'm assuming it does because we're getting more in depth to the character or maybe their lore. I don't really know because I don't really do these things like the affection story. Not because I don't feel like I don't need to, but just more in the sense that, I don't know, I'm just focused on the bigger parts of the story that's this one I'll get to eventually. But yeah, who knocks at the door? Guest arrives from the far side of the night, composed and calm, carrying whispers of the dead. But right, if I remember... Oh, the announcement is voiced. Haven't had that in a while, I think. I think that actually just rarely happens once in a blue moon. But yeah, if I remember, this Nervantia character, she's also part of the Science Council, I believe? Or maybe just part of, Asimov's department or something, but just, in a different group or sector? I don't remember the entirety of the details from what little we saw of her, but yeah. Oh, okay, here we go, yeah. After processing the last file, you stretch your wrist and lean back against the chair. Gaze drifting toward the window. Silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain ushers in the night ahead of time. Yourself rustling and mechanical feathers coming from a perch by the window.
本当にびっくりだな、あんたのワーカホリックっぷりは。ネイティアと組んだら火に油、歯車と車輪みたいだろうな。回り出したら止まらない。なあ、誰が窓を閉めてコーヒーを入れて照明を調整したと思う？わしなら星サポート試験なんか一発で合格だな。
Oh, he actually speaks. Interesting. Wait, is this gonna be similar to how Official had the same thing in Genshin Impact, right? The bird or crow familiar she always had with her was also able to speak, if I remember correctly. Sorry, it's been even more forever since I played Genshin Impact, so... There's a competition for that?
ちょい待ち、今から管理システムに潜って試験項目に追加してやる。ご丁寧に泊まり木まで用意してくれたからな。 暇な時はちょくちょく様子を見に来てやるぞ。どうせネイティアはわしを会議に連れてかない。いつ終わるのかもしらんし。
Why doesn't she take you? Because you talk too much?
わしのどこが一言多いんだ。これはきめ細やかなケアって言うんだ。賢者が学生に空っぽの部屋を埋めさせるって話聞いたことあるか。ネイティアが相手にしてる官僚とも部屋に閉じ込めて会議させりゃいい。奴らの無駄話と責任のなすりつき合いで部屋はすぐにパンパンだ。
To be fair, it's like that normally too. Like people just continue to bicker about like their own problems. It's like we should be thinking first of like the greater good or the whole first, and then we focus on separate parts. But that's especially the case in Babylonia with the world government, so it's not that surprising.
哀れネイティアは頭脳と話術で完全武装して一人で処刑場に赴いた。代わりにわしがのびのびと自由を満喫してるってわけや。
I'll be back. Give me a minute. Sorry about that, I'm back. Had to bring something in. Look around at the displays and data storage units and what is just another ordinary task force lounge. You're not gonna find much to entertain Morgan. Spend a day with me while I worked. Is that really freedom?
あんた、機械の渡りガラスなのか？わしの楽しみなんかわかるわけないだろ。
You like it here so much, wanna stick around and enjoy Grey Raven?
ネイティアから引き抜くなんてさすがだな。あんたには感服するぜ。それこそあいつの思うつぼだ。これを口実にしてあんたにあんなことやこんなこと。
Eh, boy. Don't tell me this is an ordinary day. While a thunderclap threatens to split the heavy air. Same instant, Morgan's voice cuts off abruptly as if an invisible hand exceeds his voice. Oh, God. Is she here? blue light of Mechanical Raven's eyes suddenly extinguishes, replaced by a piercing red the next second. Eerie, Morgan's eyes look like the lanterns on a ferry crossing the river Styx.
音声メッセージ1845タイムラグ起動優先度最高再生開始
Your hand was on your pistol the moment something strange happened. Your eyes locked on Raven, you start recording with your terminal.
このメッセージをあなたが聞く頃には私はもうあなたの質問に答えることはできていないでしょうねネイティつまり私はもう生きる気力を失ったということ私がこの肩書きで話すのもこれが最後私科学理事会補記実験室研究員レノアは研究責任者のバルデン教授がロット番号 CUB-LN129 の実験サンプルに違法なデータを秘匿していることを告発します該当ロットはすでに登録済みで入庫されています違法データには索敵アルゴリズムの過激な改変が含まれており回収されていません私は正義と真実をあなたに託します黒き鳥
Was that last line poetry? Raindrop strikes the window pane incredibly faintly, yet perfectly clearly, punctuating the sighing voice like a final period.
わしが言ったんじゃないぞ
Don't worry, I know.
何が起きたのかわしにもわからん機体を制御できなかったし記録も残ってない、わしはネイティア
Blackwing Kong glides over and perches suddenly on your shoulders, shrinking into himself, but visibly shaken. A unique search for Lenore on the internal network brings up 2 records. A public notice from the Science Council about a dismissal years ago for experiment-related violations, and a report of her subsequent suicide. An accusation from someone long dead who was capable of hacking the security director's cup, no less. The Science Council and Navrati involved is clearly beyond your jurisdiction to handle alone. Well, I've recorded everything. Come on. Taking you to find her right now. When I start racing, you open the door and your gaze immediately collides with a pair of crystalline red eyes.
あら
Oh, good. Found you. A woman with deep blue hair stands in your doorway, draped in what seems like a cloak of night itself, and you have a long black umbrella. Expression shifts from momentary surprise to a subtle smile.
そう慌てないでカラスさん私はここにいるわ
Oh, I didn't even notice. Like, her hair goes from, like, black to white. But, like, in a somewhat smooth transition. Wow. I'll be honest, it's kind of, like, majestic, like. Especially with the purple. Pretty cool. Valtia's hand poised to knock, hovers near your cheek before naturally lowering to smooth out a crease in your collar. Only now do you realize how close opening the door has brought you two together. And pay for the downpour means with a warm fragrance that you momentarily embraced. Coming down pretty hard out there. Glad you didn't get caught in it. Timing's perfect. I need to see you. About Morgan.
それについてはあなたと同じだけ知っていて同じだけ知らないわ安全相関が何の備えもなく自分の渡りガラスを野放しにするはずがないでしょ懐かしい名前と隠された告発メッセージ運命と言うべきかしらカヘティ事件の後に沈んでいた謎がまたあなたと私の前に現れるなんて
I'm the one who witnessed Morgan's strange behavior, so I need to testify at some point. Like Kardaki incident. Is that supposed to be the main story thing, or is that something separate? Gives you a slightly apologetic look, she takes Morgan back, trying to nestle in the crooked neck.
そうなるでしょうね。
Let's go then. I will go with you to someone else.
あなたに無駄足を踏ませたりしないわ。安全総監として約束する。濃厚に感謝するわ。私の証人であり、私と同じ道を行くあなた。
Oh no, but yeah, that's right. She's the security director, right?
まずはお二人の迅速な対応に感謝いたします。
Wait, what?
ネイティア総監、グレイレイブン指揮官。
Wait, this is actually voiced, at least for other characters? Really? Is that how it's been for all these affection stories? Because I honestly don't know. I think I did it one time, but I honestly don't remember my experience with it before. Is this normal? And if it is, should I be getting on this? Because I probably have a lot that I've yet to actually do for a lot of characters.
確認になりますが、
This is pretty
総
cool.
監が代表する告発側と
Finally, you
被
don't have
告
to read
発人と
everything.
なるバルデン教授の双方による陳述は全て終わったことに間違いありませんか？
Well, actually, I mean, to be fair, if it actually has been like that, I guess it would make sense, right? Because, again, it's similar to like Connect events, and those are usually voiced, like involving waves and such, so... If anything, my surprise is more so that it's like we're having that here on Punishing Grey Raven, where most of the time it isn't. You were here, Navati's fingers danced across the terminal while you held the umbrella up for you both. She complete the report in mere moments, issuing a summons and scheduling a meeting. Wait, why the fuck am I holding an umbrella? Now Nervatia gently soaks Morgan in his compact form and nods. Across the long table, a man glances at time on his terminal before offering a slightly apologetic smile and nodding in return.
すまんね。慌てて家を出たものだから妻や子に心配をかけたくなくて。さっきも言ったが、あのサンプル群は入庫前に完全に審査をクリアしたものだ。数も多く、保管用の実験エリアも以前の襲撃で損壊され封鎖されている。我々の限られた人員と物資をこの件に費やすのは適切ではない。もちろんちょうど我々の実験室が世界政府との共同プロジェクトの PR 時期で大事な時期であることも承知している。だから可能な限り協力しよう。
Okay, no, yeah. So it is the world government. That's the name of the whole shebang, right?
結構です。双方の合意の上で監察員が本件の調査および処理を全面的に引き継ぎ直ちに着手します。
科学理事会内部の告発案件の調査は安全総監たる私の職責に含まれるはず。私を排除する理由は何？
Oh, okay, I see. Right, because even if she's security director, she still kind of works, not in tandem, but still has to like give support to the Science Council. Okay.
この告発メッセージの音声認証は確認済みですが、何らかの理由で数年遅れて届いたものです。このような状況下の関係者同士の内部調査では、世論の納得が得られません。
Right, because that's the thing, right? Because it's like that message seems to have been meant for her for like as if like immediately. But if that was the case, how would they not know that it's like someone else had received that message at that point? If it was like a live call. And again, the message being left behind is like, we haven't heard anything about Cubs and we've been using them for a good long time now. So it's like, would that really become such an issue right now? But if it's something from the past, it's just been delayed. Makes sense. Because otherwise the only explanation you can give is like, oh, this person who was thought to believe to be dead has actually come back. And and then deliver that message. But again, it's like, why would they even do that if it just like shows that they aren't back?
既存の内部統制システムを回避または骨抜きにする行為そのものが信頼を損なう新たな危機なのでは。それにこの案件の中核には補給の専門技術が関わっているわ。内部の専門家による証拠採取の方が迅速な真相究明に適している。
Possibly another Curino case again?
ネイティア総
Be
監、
surprised.
お言葉ですが、あなたは科学理事会の高等教育課程の出身ではない。いわゆる専門家としての立場について疑義があるのではないでしょうか。
So this is Navalte's battlefield. Morgan's words make sense now. On the other side of the long table, a holographic projection, who's been focusing on something else silently, suddenly interjects.
ネイティアは補給専門家としての卒業要件を正式に満たしている。
You know, now that I hear Azuma's voice again after so long, again, after a while, that voice does actually fit him. I just like doing my own. Because like, as a dedicated researcher. But again, that's just me though.
彼女の職業倫理観について言えば、当時レノアの違反実験を調査し、調査結果を公示したのも彼女だ。
首席研究員殿には申し訳ありませんが、監察員が譲歩できる唯一の条件は双方が信頼できる第三者による監督付きの調査です。それどうかご理解ください。私にも上層部に対する説明責任があるのです。
Are we really gonna waste time because of trust issues in a meeting room? Come on, I thought we were all adults here. Out of view for the others, Navatia's gauntlet digs deep into her palm with a pressure that will certainly leave behind marks. Memories from the research facility flood your mind. You understand full well how much the construct before you despises a bureaucratic finger pointing. How desperately she wants to uncover the truth herself. I don't know, I kind of feel like this may be spoiling main story, maybe. And if that's the case, I'm kind of wondering if it's like I should just do some now, then do some story, then go back there, and then later. Because, I mean, to be fair, it's not like I'm in desperate need to have Nervatia right now. As long as I finish it by the date. And it's not like I'm gonna take forever to finish this. So, maybe that is kind of how I'll do this. Because again, it's like, I don't know, like, the full details and everything. And again, may spoil the main story for me. It's like, I'll lose track of like, okay, wait, what does this mean? What does that mean? How does this connect? So first, witness an external party. Could I serve as supervisor? Crimson irises glisten with crystalline clarity, like glass melted by fierce winds, to be forged in bitter gold. Reflecting your eyes, a gaze shines through a brilliant shimmering light. Her lips part silently in silence, as if what she wants to say isn't suitable for the setting. Instead, she entrusts her unspoken words entirely to her gaze.
それは
I mean, why not? I'm Grey Raven, right? Trying to help everybody. No reason for me not to take
グレイ
part.
レイブン指揮官は信頼の厚い方です。お忙しい中、調査へのご協力が可能であれば、これ以上の条件はないでしょう。皆様、異議はありませんか？
異議なし。
右に同じく。
The officer seems to be sighing relief. When we adjourns the meeting, his demeanor shifts to one of affability as he lavishes praise Navratian, you for your resolve before he hastily exits the room. Walden doesn't linger either. Okay, maybe it's because, again, it's like, there are still factions that are like planning for themselves, right? Selfishly. They're not thinking like it's still hard to trust anyone, right? Even if we get rid of Kurano. That still doesn't mean there aren't like spies or just people trying to increase their own gain later on. or trying to use this to like improve their position within the world government. So I guess maybe that's what the conflict in this meeting was. And it's like, to be fair, it is understandable. We've had traitors a bunch of times already. And again, the thing is that I like here is like the traitors aren't always the same, or it's not for the same reasons, and it's not always for the same group. And like some of the reasons that we have yet to uncover their identities till much later is because either they did a good job of it, because they had so many connections. There's many distinctive reasons as to how they were able to reach that position that don't make it seem like, oh, here we go again, you know? Next time, try doodling in the notebook instead.
あなたって時々子供っぽいことを言うのね。
I mean, I am just a young human commandant leading Grey Raven.
もしかしたら遠い昔、かつての私もそうしてたかも。
The tall woman tilts her head upward toward the dimmed energy-saving lights and lets out a soft sigh.
ここもまた守るべき戦場。永遠の敵も味方もいない。ただ変わらぬルールだけがある。
Yeah. Because, again, that is the funny and ironic thing, right? We're supposed to be a force united to reclaim Earth, right? But in the end, this is basically just like a smaller version of what goes on the planet Earth. Different powers vying for a greater position or a greater power that can control the rest, right? It never changes.
例えば、傷は決して見せてはならない。これらの後は何かを握っていれば弱みにはならない。端末だったり武器だったり、あるいは誰かの手だったり。
So you're about to say something, the construct beside you suddenly halts mid-step. Following your gaze, you see Walden standing beneath the portico leading to the entrance. Watch the unrelenting curtain of rain. The professor turns around and waves at you two, allowing his fingertips flickering on and on.
君はいつも風のように颯爽と歩くね、ネイティア。ゆっくり話すこともほとんどなかった。最後に言葉を交わしたのはレノアの葬式だった。花を抱えてずっと遠くに立っていた。呼んでも君はみんなの輪に近寄ろうとしなかったな。君がうちの実験室にいた頃、唯一親しく話していたのが彼女だった。もう何年前のことか。
調査中です。非告発人と昔話をするつもりはないわ。
For the first time today, an invisible rain seemingly is penetrating the eaves, dredging the tireless black-light construct where she stands. Please go home, Professor Walden. Your family must be waiting. Hop in the black umbrella and step into the rain, tilted slightly toward Nervatia beneath the eaves. Exhaustion and gratitude, Nervatia folds her wings and places her hand in yours, taking shelter in the small haven you opened for.
行きましょう。グレイレイブン指揮官。
It's interesting. I will say it kind of feels like it definitely seems like the two of them have a dynamic already. Makes me think, because it kind of reminds me of like, this is just kind of a situational one just based on what I see in media. So take it with a grain of salt, but it's kind of like when you have like an heiress who's like set to take on like the family business or company or nation, and I'm like her loyal supporter, like a butler or like close confidant or secretary, but like one that like they're connected emotionally, right? So it's like she has that trust in me to be her support, right? Like, I can read like a bit about her to them. At least that's what I think. Okay. Yeah, I think it probably would be better for me to do bits of main story than do bits of this. Because again, I don't know if it's going to spoil anything that we already know about it yet or not, so. 23 parts, okay, not too long. The Weight of Truth, alright. Years later, when Navanti enters the World Government Archives to review everything that happened that day. Alright. Oh wait, shit, I'm already going to the action? That's quick. Oh, okay, this is the Kartaki Emission Emergency Committee. This is not a drill. We repeat, this is not a drill. Huh? I can't press anything. Yeah, I can't press anything. What the hell? Oh boy. Is it gonna go away soon? I hope it does.
Spaghetti. やっと
Okay, sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. But I'm gonna try to like press as soon as possible for this. I don't know why, but something's going on here that I don't know what's happening. So, okay, I don't know if I had to wait a while or what, but okay. After many years, she returns to her devastated homeland. Oh, okay, so that's what this is. No, I'll try to keep this going again. Maybe it'll go away at some point. If it doesn't, like, let's see. I'll keep it going for like a minute, maybe even 2. If it takes longer than a minute, then I'll probably have to skip it. Oh, here we go. No, here we go. Minutes ago, reactor number 4 to Kardaki. Yeah, I'm gonna just say Kardaki, which is like Kardoki, whatever, exploded, triggering a severe punishing virus outbreak. City Council has issued a final evacuation order. Abandon all non-essential items. Only take basic rations, food, water, and medicine with you. Follow all instructions of the military, police, and staff. Proceed to the Riverbank Central Crossing for refugee. Oh, I see. Is this like when all the reactors went? Yeah, because there was multiple, right? That were going along with the 0-point energy reactor core or whatever. Okay. But yeah, I just had to press auto and it'll do it itself. Okay, good. Because I was going to say, I'll be stuck anyway. Because it wasn't going anywhere. Okay, there we go. Huh? Wait, what the hell? Where'd my mouse go? Ah, boy. Fine. Need hot water and a pair of sterilized scissors right now. Prepare 3 rolls of bandages. Prioritize patients with active bleeding. Triage patients according to injury severity. Red markers indicate priority patients, and markings on left arms indicate risk of internal bleeding. They need immediate bed rest and IV access. Yeah, the problem is I don't know when the auto will move on or not, so it's like I have to keep pressing it back and forth. Been 3 minutes since Navanti arrived at the field hospital. Huh? What? Oh, takes a deep breath and wipes the blood from her. Oh, okay. What the hell? Oh, something's wrong, isn't it? Usually I have to use the right stick to move this up and down, but it's going differently this time. Okay. 3 minutes since Navati arrived at the field hospital. Okay. Takes a deep breath, wipes the blood from her face with cold water, and thrusts herself back into the crowd of refugees who, like her, easily fled their homes. Okay, I don't understand why it's doing this. Somebody help me up. I can't see my legs anymore. Don't move. The bleeding has stopped. You're going to be alright. You're lying. I can't feel my legs. They're broken. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Yeah, sorry for all the clicking. It's just I have to keep pressing the auto because I don't know why, but it's not responding to my control. Navadia firmly grips his shin and leans down, staring intently into his panicked eyes. Wait, can I do something with the keyboard, maybe? Maybe. Calm down. Look at me. I'm a Kartiki scout. No one is going to die. I promise I'll get you all out of here alive. Okay, at least I can press the space bar. I can do it lightly too. This disaster struck without warning, but you're not alone. We're right here with you. Navadia, we need help over here. Lie still now. I'll get someone to take care of you. Navadia tucks her hair behind her ear, rushing back into the chaotic crowd. Make way. Severe wounded coming through. Avoid the stretcher. Hold on, ma'am. Make way, please. Step back. Don't cross the security line. Damn, it takes a while for it. Officer, she's been hit by a stray bullet, and her right lung has failed. She needs an emergency tracheotomy. Back up! Colonel's orders were clear. No civilians are allowed inside. My name is Nervatia. I'm a Kartiki scout. Major Lee knows me, and Colonel Pavlov decorated me himself. This woman is bleeding out. She needs proper medical... The soldier cocks his weapon and turns to face her. Only then does Nervatia notice the soldier's right arm. Mangled flesh is exposed to the air, remaining an acrid smell of burnt skin. Officer, are you... Who made it here without a cut or two? Everyone's hurt. Step back. This is your final warning. Something wrong with my AirPod? I keep getting crackling. Might have to reconnect it later. Comrade Pavlov, Major Lee has arrived. My apologies, Colonel. The situation is complete chaos. The departments have suffered heavy casualties. Before the Major can finish, the officer at the desk raises his hand and cuts him off. Brief me, Major. Yes, sir. The last firefighter team lost contact 20 minutes ago. They managed to contain the fire, but the condition inside the research institute remains unknown. We still don't know what caused the reactor to explode or why it triggered a punishing virus outbreak. 4 minutes ago, the corrupted broke through the 3rd Battalion's defense. We countered Ibn, fell on the line of duty. Main corrupted force is expected to reach the riverbank within 30 minutes. Based on our rough estimates, about 30,000 civilians have reached the riverbank just beyond the security perimeter. But... Major pauses, lowering his eyes, and clears his throat twice. Naval officers just informed me that our last cruiser, Spartacus, it can only accommodate 1,200 people. Oh, wow. Good God. Pavlov places a cigarette between his lips and flicks his lighter. Colonel, our military terminals are connected to Gestalt. It wouldn't be impossible to filter the database for suitable candidates. Major, you've asked me to choose 29,000 Kartiki citizens to die in the next 20 minutes. But at least some people will survive. This isn't about how many fucking people we save. Look at my uniform. Points to the 3 silver stars on his shoulder. Captain Ibn and countless soldiers performed their duties to the very end. If we delay any longer, the sacrifice will be for nothing. And we'll go down in Kartaki's history as sinners. His voice trembles, intertwined with fear and anxiety. Sinners. He's back in his chair, muttering to himself as if comprehending the weight of that word for the first time. Fuck. First my wedding, now my city. Takes a deep drag from his cigarette, repeatedly rubbing his weathered forehead with his right hand. Punishing virus. It's like some goddamn ghost. Just when you think you have it figured out, it sneaks up to remind you how worthless your life really is. Colonel, we're out of time. Time? Mine ran out long ago. Hot ash falls onto his fingers, he reaches for something at his waist. Babylonia finally got through on comms just now. You know what they said. Years later, Major League will still remember everything that happens next vividly. Avalanches always arrive without warning. When the heavy frozen snow crashes down, everyone will be caught unprepared. God damn it. Pavlov is no exception. Suddenly draws his silver service pistol and presses it against his temple. They... Colonel? Wait! What, like they abandoned this place? The gunshot rings out and everything turns silent on both sides of the security line. Hey, what's happening in there? Oh god, the Colonel is dead. Pavlov's dead? Who did it? Who's in charge now? Let us in! Unease spreads like ripples expanding outward, scalding and ready to boil over. Stay calm, everyone. Hold your positions and maintain the security line. Grand adrenaline stretched a few seconds into an eternity as Narvatia's ears catch a steadily intensifying buzz. Sound approaches like drumbeats, cutting through the surrounding clamor of voices and reverberating like a pulse. Something is coming. Whose terminal keeps ringing? Shut off the damn thing. No, that's not a terminal. Sir, we're getting readings on the detector. Fast-moving targets detected in the sky. The punishing virus is coming. A great streak of red light tears across the sky, pouring over the thousands of it, tens of thousands. Airstrike, take cover. Then 2,000 kilograms of aerial bombs pour down like torrential rain. Just before the explosion, Narvatia grabs and clutches the closest child to her chest, coming to the side. Bree pelts her body as heat waves sweep across her back. The violent shockwave nearby shatters her eardrum. She holds the child tightly in her arms, refusing to yield even an inch to the Grim Reaper. About 10 seconds later, the ground finally stops shaking. Narvatia loses her grip, shakes the debris from her back, and opens her eyes to find herself staring into her child's innocent gaze. Are you hurt? Tell me if something hurts. I'm okay, miss. Narvatia helps the child stand up and surveys the terrified but largely unharmed crowd. Sees the bombardment for the corrupted had missed the riverbank, causing minimal casualties. Finds her hairband and decides to return to her post. Suddenly, something pierces through Narvatia's chest. Looks down to see a blood-soaked steel blade. Narvatia instantly loses all sense and collapses to her knees. Excruciating pain wraps around her heart like thorns. Each breath feels like rusty metal sawing through her blood-filled throat. Slowly turns her gaze to glimpse the perpetrator, one who's planted a festering wound in her heart for the years to come. A shriek tears through the air as countless discordant sounds suddenly converge, cutting into her ears like a raging torrent. Like rushes from her wound, draining away all her strength. Narvatia gasps hoarsely as the world twists and trembles before her eyes. Loud screams echoing in her ears. As the smoke gradually clears, countless crimson lights emerge from the distance. Open fire! Push forward! Hold the perimeter! You monsters. You won't take another step forward. This is Kartaki. On March 16, 2162, a catastrophe silently descends in the post-pandemic age, crushing everything Nervatia holds dear. Years later, when Nervatia enters the World Government Archives to review everything that happened that day, she receives only this answer. Nothing of note occurred on this day. What? No, right, yeah, because, the old man was trying to say something, right? Because he was telling them what... Like, is it that, Babylonia abandoned them, so it's like, they just don't consider Kartaki a part of their group anymore? Like, for the world government? The bizarre incident, the City of Despair, fallen soldiers, all are forever erased from the pages of history. Oh, wait a minute. Be friends from now on, okay? You never cared about Kartaki. You never cared about Nervatia. Promise me you'll... At least I'm assuming it's woman for the ponytail, but I could be wrong. However, by time, those once passionate, brilliant lives and their stories fade to darkness, silently scattered to the winds. The girl looks at Nervatia with concern, completely unaware the corruptor raising its blade behind her. Butcher's blade of the past eclipses the setting sun. Nervatia raises her hand, but the relentless march of history pays no heed to her girl's desperate cries. Of course. Who would care? Sharp blade flashed in the air, cleaving through the shadows before the girl's eyes with a resounding clash. The mirror reflecting the past shatters. Light cuts through the crimson mist, showering down upon her body. Cracks spread across the sky and the earth, stripping away color and dissolving scenery wherever they reach, like a mirage shattering into nothing. Nervatia looks up, meeting a pair of crimson eyes identical to her own. Who are you? I am you from the future, Nervatia. In the frozen, fracturing world, all motion ceases, leaving only the two of them, their eyes locked. The future? So I didn't die. Many unseen names have carried us forward. Life is far more resilient than you can imagine. I don't understand. Please save Kartaki. We need help. I know. That's why I've come back. Guess the wind sweeps through, carrying away the dust from this land 3 decades later. I waited far too long for today. It's now the Reconquista age. Decades way after the Kartaki incident, Nervatia finally sets foot on her homeland once more. The illusion woven by the punishing virus has failed to trap her. The goddess corrupted emerged from the mist surrounding Nervatia. Walks forward slowly, placing her foot upon the corpse of the fallen enemy. So much time has passed. She looks down at the tide of enemies, revealing a smile filled with rage and contempt. Since this world has chosen to forget. Her massive size swings through the air as purple lightning flashes.
それなら私が真実をこの手で持ち帰る。カゲティ、やっと帰ってきたわ。この大地は今蹂躙されて嘆き悲しんでいる。私はこの叫びをあなたたちのレクイエムにしてみせる。もう一度やってみる？少し痛むわよ。もう一度やってみる？少し痛むわよ。まだ足りないわ。少し痛むわよ。 少し痛むわ。作戦メモリー更新。赤切り放射区に侵入。異常な幻影を確認。赤潮の特徴に酷似。これは遮断機が振動している。赤切りが来るわ。本当に間が悪い。本当にしつこいわね。じゃあ一緒に死にましょう。じゃあ二度と戻らない神なる死を捧げるわ。服従し死を受け入れて。袋のネズミね。ひざまずきなさい。少し痛むわ。ひざまずきなさい。少し痛むわよ。通信アシモフから。
Okay, I don't know why it didn't allow me to use my cursor like it normally does, but hopefully that'll be fixed in the next one. Just in case, I'm gonna disconnect my controller real quick and plug it back in, just to make sure. I don't know what the fuck happened. Okay, goody. I'm assuming maybe it was an error because of that whole warning thing at the beginning. At least I'm assuming anyway, because even though I have my keyboard on, I never had this happen when I did. But I don't know. Oh, you almost got it. Vati shifts slightly to the side as a blazing heavy blade sweeps past her face, crashing down with a thunderous impact, leaving a terrifying crater in the ground. All these years, and none of you has improved one bit. She has gracefully, her massive side dancing through the air in a sudden flourish, before landing on Corrupted's shoulder. My turn now. Vati raises her right leg, planting her foot on the Corrupted's chest and applying some slight pressure to the blade of his side. Oh yeah, because it's like, she did seem to be like mocking the enemy with the way like her attacks did. Or I mean, the way it worked. That embodies separate sparks fly everywhere. Mission log update. I have entered Kardaki's outskirts to eliminate surrounding threats. A punishing virus concentration. Some kind of static has been bleeding into Navatia's comm channel for a while now. Oh, is that what that buzzing sound was? Because I was saying it's like, there was like this little sound at the end, but I didn't know what it was. Glancing at the device on her arm and watches the numbers in the Nixie tube rapidly climb alongside the fluctuating static. Something's not right. The red mist appears to be causing corrosive interference to comms. I'm submitting my mission log. Expect countermeasures from Research Division 1 before my mission ends. She continues toward the familiar city in the distance. The mist before her eyes grows thicker. The static in her ears gradually becomes more distinct. Radiation zone. Spreading. Casualties. Can't hold. Evacuate immediately. Ascendant. Coming comms alert sharply disperses the static as a top priority call from the Science Council is forcibly connected. Nervatia. Even though this operation is being run by the Science Council independently, the military still retains the right to dispatch a command here. I understand how significant this mission is to you, but you shouldn't be blocking military communications. You must have seen my mission log. Given the unique properties, my properties of the Kartaki radiation zone. The military should understand my need to take initiative. Wait, so what? Wait, so is it like this area is treated like how like a nuke zone is? Like when like a nuclear waste is put on there, it's like there's like radiation and such that's dangerous for regular people? Is that kind of how they're treating this area? Listen, I don't care about what you did, but Nicola told me how bad the situation is. I've noticed. The punishing virus concentration here is spiking rapidly, which is precisely why I need to focus and complete my mission as quickly as possible. That's why I'm calling. Your objectives have been updated. Suspend the test data recovery and proceed to provide support for a different mission. While these brow for recite the issue taps that came with her fingertips. Chief Technician. Priorities of field operations should be determined on-site by the security director herself. And here's my verdict. The punishing virus concentration in Kartaki is rising rapidly. This may be our last chance to enter the radiation zone and retrieve the data. With neither the capacity nor inclination to do otherwise. What a headache. Far above Earth, Asma takes a small sip of coffee while examining a file marked with red crosses. At the top of the file is the name of its subject, Nervantia, Security Director of the Science Council. Okay, yeah, so it's like she's a branch of the Science Council. Security Department, okay. So it wasn't entirely wrong. Since arriving at Babylonia in 2162, Nervantia submitted 79 applications to investigate the Kartaki radiation zone. Over the past 20 plus... What? 20 years she's tried to get here? And it all declined? Again, makes me think some Babylonia secret, but why? Okay, maybe it's not just Kurano then, right? Because if they've been denying it for this long, and there have been this many applications submitted, Kurano can't be the only ones who've seen these applications, right? So it makes me think maybe it actually is because of Babylonia, but is it for good reason or not? Because, again, the general seemed to have given up at the time when he got a communication from Babylonia, as if like nothing would save them, right? It makes me think, then what would be the reason that they would deny to help anyone, right? I mean, I get potentially the airstrike at that time could have maybe been like, maybe they foresaw it, but aside from that, would that really be all it is? Like, couldn't they have like dispatched people from land? Again, but this is assuming that this was around the time of... No, actually, it wouldn't have been like when all the reactors blew up, right? Because that wouldn't make sense then. Because they already knew about the corrupted, and Babylonia was already established, right? So yeah, okay, so this isn't after that. This is much later after, or at least sometime after the punching had started. Okay, yeah, my bad. So again, something else is happening. Because again, if it was around that time, then they could at least just use that as an excuse as to why they can't. But it definitely seemed like there was just like no hope at all. 51 civilian requests, and 28 made more through official Science Council channels. Without exception, every single one of them has been stamped with a bright red denied. Is by the same person though, or different people? I understand, of course. You've waited far too long for this chance to return home. I suspect even the supposed data retrieval isn't what truly matters to you. Ah, I see. So, is it that Asimov gave her a chance, right? Because again, with too many things, or with things finally out of the way, some of the bigger things, and with Kurano not really interfering as much, he thought like, okay, maybe I'll give her a break. Let's see if there's something beneficial that we can actually uncover from this. Maybe. But the current circumstances are rather unusual. Due to the radiation zone's expansion, Babylonia's withdrawn the forces that were pursuing the Ascendant. But we lost contact with a human operative that was stranded there. Oh, okay. Is it gonna be the same guy again, like last time? Or is it gonna be the new group that's forming? Helping this individual will also aid your mission. This again. Mr. Chief Technician, I'm tired of wasting my energy on the mad scientist from Section 1 and 2. This person's name is Xanthos. Footsteps on the other entered. Wait, what? Me? What the hell? What happened? Was I not with Grey Raven this? Oh, don't tell me. This time, they thought it was just for surveying stuff, so they only sent me. I swear to God. Azuma, what the hell? I thought you were on my side. Hey, I don't give all the shit to you, okay? You're still part of the world government. You're not only the Science Council's little bitch. Shut up. In the video feed, Nervatia looks at Azuma, silently seeking confirmation for this information. The military cannot yet confirm if the disappearance of Xanthos and the radiation zone's expansion are connected to the Ascendant. Stay vigilant and try not to damage the Council's equipment. Chief Technician, please convey to Commander Nicola that I will no longer entertain any orders that delay my mission after resolving this urgent matter. As you wish. I only need you to ensure the safety of Xanthos and secure the Kardaki test data. Oh, I see. So again, it's like, I see. So that's really why he potentially got the setup for Nervatia to take part, right? Because if there's anyone who can try to find me in this whole zone that for some reason has been closed off for so long, would be a former resident. I see. But again, still makes me wonder, why don't they try to solve the mystery of this place, right? What's so bad about coming here? Who's to say civilization hasn't survived here somehow? Like, it's not impossible. People have struggled and been able to survive the worst multiple times. Send me the exact coordinates. I'm leaving now. With me around, no one will harm the Commandant. Wait. Oh. Oh, that is cool. It transitions in the back, and like we're getting a bit of color here. Grave Commander. The slightest tilt of the scales made you believe you were on the verge of victory. Such is the ignorance and delusion the Rekoki Sage has instilled in you. That boy. In darkness, your consciousness hovers at the edge of wakefulness, surrounded by chaotic static and explosive humming. Time expands in the chaotic void. Great, now I'm hearing voices. Where am I? Red mist, spreading. The familiar phantoms saturate all your senses, tearing at your body like howling waves and sending bone-chilling pain through your spine. Little Raven. For a brief moment, a warmth dispels the nightmare. It's a gentle, enchanting calm. The woman takes hold of your hand, gently applying pressure and sending a wave of warm radiance to guide you toward the end of this vast darkness. Oh, great. I'm in an abandoned building. Just like always, I guess. Dreadful nightmares uprooted completely, and a beautiful figure gradually materializes before your eyes. You look quite adorable when you sleep. Stranger who feels familiar? I'm Nervatia, Security Director of the Science Council. Repeat that to me. Nervatia. Good. It seems the wound on your head isn't that serious, so we can skip the craniotomy. As she speaks, she leans in closer, carefully examining your eyes. Pupillary response is normal too. Good. You have a shrapnel wound on the inner side of your right thigh. I've already applied temporary hemostasis, but now I need to unwrap it for examination. There's a pair of scissors from a basin of water beside her and points at your tattered uniform. Do you mind? Please, go ahead. It's a way to bandage with precise, efficient movements. Practice technique instilling a profound sense of security. There's no active bleeding, but there's debris around the edges of the wound. You need to perform debridement. I'll administer a local anesthetic and a tetanus antitoxin, then suture the wound. You might feel a sight stinging sensation. Bear with it. Got it. tosses her back her light purple hair and immediately begins the treatment. Before injecting the anesthetic, she notices several other exposed scars on your leg and looks up with curious eyes. How did you end up alone in the radiation zone? The higher-ups are beside themselves with worry. What happened before all this? Yeah, like, please, enlighten me. Feel a dull pain between your eyebrows as hazy memories begin to unfold before you. Like, come on, there can't be that Asimov set me alone. 3 hours ago. Besieged by our ground forces, the Ascendant John Doe has been driven to the edge of the Kardaki radiation. A motherfucker! John Doe. Wait. Ah, shit. John Doe. That's that was the guy who could turn invisible at points, right? That was in Teddy's extra story, right? Yeah, it was in a Teddy story chapter with her like virtual reality friend, right? Because that's when John Doe made his appearance. He's the guy in the mech suit, right? If I remember correctly. Radiation zone. FOS should have taught you about the Great Actolite Explosion. Oh, okay, here we go. Probably gonna learn about this. The Great Actolite Explosion? What? Actolite? Right. Disaster that occurred in Actolite in 2162. Oh, okay, it means the nation of Actolite, right? Because I was gonna say, isn't Actolite like a train? I see. It was one of the defining moments of the post-pandemic age. Its cause remains unknown. Oh, I see. So it's like one of the mysteries of the world, right? Something that happened during the punishing virus outbreak, but something people don't really know why it happened. After the explosion, a mist-like form of the punishing virus emerged across thousands of square kilometers around Ground Zero. We call it the Red Mist. Oh, wow, so it is. That's cool. So, just like how before, like when the red tide had an effect on the environment with Cradle and turned it into like a warped caged forest, this time it actually did it in like creating a radiation zone that's like, it's completely unsuitable for humans. Wow, okay, finally we're getting something different. I was thinking, because it's like the red tide's gonna get old eventually and they can't always just do the same thing with it. At some point it was gonna have to be different. Okay, cool, finally. Something like that isn't just the red tide per usual, right? Because like I said, it's not necessarily that it was getting old, it's like it had the potential for a lot of things and I think we explored most of it. So it's like we did need something new as like a threat to the world, especially since we know it's like the punishing virus can continuously evolve. But it's like we haven't seen anything as like a form of evolution for it. Aside from like hetero creatures and the red tide. The incident sounded like a nuclear radiation accident, so locals simply started calling the area engulfed by the red mist a radiation zone. Oh, but wait, but it wasn't caused by it wasn't caused by that airstrike, right? By the corrupted? Because to be fair, Nervanti was still able to stand and try to protect the child at the time, right? And everyone else was still fighting, unless that was just something that she made up in her mind, or everyone was kind of like hallucinating about enemies because of the effects of the radiation zone, they were gonna die anyway. But then I guess the question would be, how did she survive in the radiation zone, especially with being even more exposed because of the wound on her, to her chest, compared to like others? As we speak, John Doe is hiding in its borders, which was once a major settlement of Actolite. What do you need me to do? Suspend all your current assignments and proceed to Kardaki immediately. You'll command the ground forces to hunt down the Ascendant. What? Are you serious? Dude, you know me commanding alone isn't gonna be like, oh, that's gonna do it for sure, right? You know how many times I've been lost, kidnapped, injured, tied, or drowning because you just send me in without support? Come on, man. What about my team? What about the Grey Ravens? Come on. At least give me Lee or Lucia. I know Liv's still trying to adapt to her even newer frame. But come on, man. Aren't there ever commanded to work closer to Kardaki? This was Hassan's idea, so I didn't ask further. He has his own considerations. Yeah, I guess can't really say no if it's Hassan. Hassan has a reason, I guess. I mean, I get that it's probably more so the reason to make me be there, but again, it's like, I should have backup, right? Don't tell me you're something by myself. You need to summon Grey Raven immediately. Your squad is en route from other conflict zones. The situation is dire. You need to depart now. Oh, okay, so it's like they're on the way, but I have to go first. Well, okay, you know what, that's fair then, because at the very least, it's like, they at least need some support from Grey Raven as a whole now, and then the whole team can work together, right? Yeah, and again, like, as the Grey Raven Commandant who survived many a disaster before, it would help increase morale for the forces down there. Understood. Request the transport craft immediately. One more thing, Xanthos. Under no circumstances are you to make contact with or enter the radiation zone. Because of the red mist? The red mist, much like the red tide, possesses unique properties. It inflicts minimal physical damage to humans and constructs, but causes severe mental side effects. Exact manifestations remain unknown to this day. Oh, okay, so it doesn't really do physical damage, okay. I thought it was like, it would maybe cause like a burning sensation at the very least or something. But no, it's not like that, okay, but just mental side effects. I mean, still, it is severe, so I'm not gonna say it's like that's any better, but okay. But still, even then, it's like, couldn't they have like made, like, we've made suits to survive in chaotic areas before. Why haven't they made a suit to combat the red mist yet now? Right? Because in the 29 years since the Great Actinic explosion, no one has ever emerged alive from the radiation zone. Ah. Okay. But again, that is the thing that's like, that's confusing though, right? Because Babylonia didn't enter here. It's like they knew that either if they came, they couldn't save anyone. Or as if they anticipated like it wouldn't be safe for them to even get near the area. Like as if, again, they had foreseen it, but how would you even do that? Do they actually know the real cause of the incident? Again, I'm gonna be interested to know if it's like maybe this was another Kurano project, or maybe acted like secret projects, like when they try to do stuff on their own, or is it something completely different? Because again, we acted like in the train and everything. Like we knew the families were kind of like split, and they have their own objectives that they're trying to achieve. Because it's not like everyone was a good guy there either. So it makes me wonder if one of them was like trying to rush something and it affected that area as a consequence, or what? Echo 1, calling HQ. Echo Squad is being ambushed by the Ascendant at B-77. I repeat, Echo Squad is being ambushed by the Ascendant at B-77. Suffering heavy casualties. The red mist is spreading. Too many refugees to evacuate. We can't hold out. HQ, do you copy? HQ! The red mist is interfering with our comms. Take the refugees and retreat. I'll cover the rear. No! Your hot priority target. Soldier, stay calm and follow your orders. Don't leave anyone behind. I'll deal with the corrupted. Copy. Yeah, because again, it's like, if anyone has experience, it's me. Like, I can at least deal with basic corrupted. No one could have anticipated that the radiation zone silent for so many years has hidden such vast numbers of corrupted. Ah, so like a nest. Arrive in the combat zone right when the corrupted bypass the frontline defenses, striking at the command post like a dagger without warning. Hastily engaging in combat, you see bullets whistle and surge across the wilderness. For every corrupted that falls, another would lunge forward with grotesque metal arms, ready to take its place. Meanwhile, the architect of this chaos stands nearby on higher ground, gazing down at an unfair battle below with fanatical pleasure. Yeah, I knew it. It is you. The slightest tilt of the scales made you believe you were on the verge of victory. Such is the arrogance and delusion the Reconquista age has instilled in you. Ah, okay, so that was his quote. My pawns are endless, Grey Raven Commandant. How much energy will you waste protecting that crowd behind you while fighting mine? I won't let you near them. Regrettable. You see, I was never playing the same game as you are, Grey Raven Commandant. Look, the proliferation has already begun, and you have the great fortune of becoming her first nourishment. Don't tell me you're working with her. Please don't. As the Ascendant grins maliciously, you finally notice the eerie red fog that's billowing around you and spreading across the entire landscape. The red mist! Metallic blood-like stench fills your nostrils. Suddenly the world spins around you as everything becomes blurry and distant. Protected by your power armor, you shouldn't be affected by this level of punishing virus concentration. Why? Your conscience fading away, you hear the Ascendant deliver his final prophecy. The seedling has been planted. Now is the time to welcome our next prey to the stage. So they have someone else in mind. Done. At least I got to experience the red mist firsthand. The dim light of Radia cuts off the excess bandage, smoothing out the wrinkles at the edges of your dressing with her fingertips as gently as one might flatten the curled corner of a letter. Does it still hurt? Not at all. I can tell how tough you are. Where exactly are we right now? Here. She points to the weathered walls around you. Carnegie Experimental Secondary School. Carnegie? We're still inside the radiation zone? Why are we being affected? Or just because of this? She takes out a device from her waist and holds it in front of you. It's a red mist blocker. It works similarly to the Omega device, generating microscopic particles that neutralize the red mist within a limited area. You're lucky. Standing before you is the person who understands the red mist better than anyone else in the world. I see. Wait, and you didn't have this on hand for anyone else? Or did Asimov not even know you had something like this? I guess probably not, right? Because otherwise he would have given it to me. Same for, but what's it called? Nicola. I brought 2 of them. But since we'll be working together, I'm keeping the second one as a backup. Thanks for the help. But why were you inside the radiation zone to begin with? I was gazed slightly, taking a moment to collect her thoughts. I was on a mission. I'm here to collect test data from the post-pandemic age for the Science Council. A mission? Prompted by Navati's reminder, you quickly open your terminal to send your coordinates to the military. Establish contact. The secure line connects instantly. At the very same moment, the ground beneath your feet begins to crumble. Oh god, not again! An earthquake? It's not safe in here. Can you stand, little Raven? Body reaches out toward you. Comms cuts off almost immediately. Body swiftly opens the door, leading you outside into the desolate expanse of Carnegie. Just then, a thunderous boom echoes from between the distant buildings. Ground shakes violently, debris jumps beneath your feet, a nerve-wracking rumble fills the air. It's that the very skeleton of the city is being torn apart by some tremendous force. Streets crack, buildings groan, and steel facades shatter into falling crystal fragments. All across Carnegie, this corpse of a dead city is being forcibly lifted by a violent rebirth searching for below. Something rips through the bedrock amidst the earth-shattering tremors, heading from the distant abyss below and thrusting directly into the heavens above. Countless sinking vines drip with luminous droplets. Shattered buildings and metal debris slowly rotate in orbit, forming a shell around its exterior like rings around a planet. A colossal tree, radiating streams of golden luminescence. Its massive trunk stands as tall as skyscrapers. Its enormous branches radiating brilliant light and sending golden rays in all directions. What is this? Punishing virus concentration readings on your terminal spike. Red mist blocker emits an unsettling warning. Connection fails, filling your ears with harsh static. Connection lost, connection lost. Has the radiation zone expanded again? The seedling has been planted. Now is the time to welcome our next prey to the stage. This tree, Navatia, do you know anything about it? Might be connected to the spread of the red mist. That place is the Karki Research Institute. Murmured softly, she gazed at a massive tree rising from the ground in the distance. The origin of all this devastation. Within the brilliant radius, thick mist descends like golden snowfall, scattering across the entire continent alongside your gaze, drifting down in gentle flurries. Better Tomorrow, Chapter 40. Meanwhile, outskirts of the radiation zone. Yo, what's with the clothes? Look pretty cool. Amid a deafening boom, a female soldier pushes through the underbrush and climbs to the top of a small hill. Sitting in her camp, she gazes down at the trembling world before her. What the hell was that explosion? God damn it! Captain, our vehicle's dead too. We don't have time. Strip the heavy weapons for the other vehicle and let's evacuate. But if we encountered a corruptor without this equipment... Captain, are we coming back? Heard there's some kind of satellite city ahead with thousands of people trapped inside. Orders from above are to withdraw immediately and get as far from that cursed mist as possible. Can't worry about other things now. Just follow your orders. Hasty evacuation is nearing its end. This operation, which began with such force, only to fizzle out, concluding with humanity's defeat. Pampered toy soldiers. They stormed in with such bravado, but they're just a house of cards in the end. Coming at the first sign of trouble. It's all united front when they're winning, but tactical retreats and abandon the civilians when things get rough. How Babylonia. She wraps a stick of gum, leaps down from her vantage point and plunges alone to this despair-filled battlefield. 4 or 5 trucks drive past her, leaving their fading crumbling behind, straight toward the mist-shrouded path ahead. So pretentious. Even drew a map of Karki. Pulls a letter from her breast pocket. It's the invitation she received not long ago. I know the way home better than you do. Crumbles the paper as her eyes linger on the sender's name. Nirvatia. Ooh. Someone who knows her. Could this actually be the brain instead? But when she steps into hazy mist, she feels a sharp pain in her eyelids. Something seems to appear amidst the swirling vapor. Pupils suddenly dilate. Sounds of children's laughter echo all around as a red brick building materializes before our eyes. The entrance is adorned with intricate plastic flowers, sunlight cascading down like a curtain from above. Words written in gold flow within the light, shimmering brilliantly. Cheap tricks. Shakes her head to dispel the phantoms of the past, times her grip on her rifle sling, continues on the path back to her homeland. A tiny figure waves like a mirage on the horizon before vanishing completely. In an instant, those phantoms converge once more, draping over the land like a gossamer net, sound and all-encompassing. Let's look at the last one. What comes to mind when you see this? A tree. Still a tree. A tree. Very good. Describe it in more detail? It looks like those Christmas trees they put outside stores during the holidays. The roots are at the bottom with branches spreading out to the sides. Really? I mean, I guess. Kind of looks more like a manta ray to me, but I don't know. But this one's a bit different. I think I can feel its color. Color? What color is it? Gold. Or maybe red. I feel like there's a dark sky above, passing down on it. It's suffocating. The tree is bleeding. The doctor silently puts away the cards and records the girl's response. I see. You mentioned Christmas trees. Do you remember where you last saw one? Sharp pain shoots through her head. I'm sorry. I can't remember. That's alright. It's only your first day back after your discharge. You're already recovering exceptionally well, Nervatia. Doctor, the answers I gave. How is my condition? Well, I've noticed that you often associate these abstract images with trees. Your descriptions often include elements like burning or bleeding, things that evoke tension or discomfort. This usually indicates that there's a particularly intense memory or emotion that your body is carefully tucked away. It's like your brain is shielding you from the injury in your heart to spare you from the pain. It's called post-traumatic stress disorder, just as they told you at the hospital. It's a mechanism that triggers, or that your body triggers for protection. Protection. But whenever I hear those sounds, my chest tightens with pain. It's always so difficult to bear, and I might even pass out. Those sounds. Sounds such as sharp explosions, the engine test from the city's rocket factory, and certain sudden noises. I see. Doctor maintains a gentle smile while opening another page in Nervatia's file, checking a section describing her symptoms with a marker. Your file mentions that there are complications stemming from your PTSD. Try not to worry too much. With consistent treatment, your condition will gradually improve. Starting today, remember to come by my office every Monday afternoon to collect your medication. Opens the drawer and takes out 2 bottles of medication and a key, which he hands to her. Here you go. Take 1 dose every morning after breakfast. Now, this is the key to your dormitory, room 303. School's arranged an outgoing roommate for you. Prefers at the mention of a roommate. I can take care of myself. You don't need to make special arrangements on my account. Of course. I can assure you that your campus life will just be like any other students. Attending regular classes, participating in scout training, the whole experience. That's all I needed. Thank you. Nadia stands up and distinctly bows. The gesture comes naturally, so she can't recall where she learned such formalities. These days, Nervatia constantly feels a profound sense of disconnection, as if her body doesn't belong to her, like a soul imprisoned in someone else's shell. I have one more question, Doctor. Please be honest with me. I'm a man of faith, child. You can speak freely with me. Can my condition be cured? The memories I've lost. Is there any way to recover them? Words tumble out quickly as Nervatia desperately seeks an answer. At least some small comfort to cling to. From a medical standpoint, many patients with amnesia and PTSD do fully recover, even before the Golden Age. They have every reason to be hopeful. But mental disorders remain one of the most enigmatic medical challenges. You've heard of construct tech, yes? It's virtually eliminated physical suffering. It's powerless against psychological trauma. Different eras bring different traumas. Different people endure different sorrows. Everyone's scar is unique. And whether you can emerge from the darkness ultimately depends on you alone. I'm sick of feeling like a stranger in my own body, and this crushing pain in my chest. I have to overcome it. Chris rattling of blinds breaking the silence as the doctor opens them. The priest who baptized me loved to say that only the damaged souls can truly comprehend the meaning of redemption. I believe this applies to you as well, Nervatia. Your enemy is your trauma and yourself. You don't necessarily need to overcome it. Halting your fixation on the results and focusing on this journey of redemption may allow you to discover a more peaceful way to live. Across the vast landscape, countless factories cluster around the towering CPF, stretching endlessly toward the golden horizon. Thousands of tons of steel ride into the factories aboard thundering trains. Soon they'll be forged by countless workers into rocket engines and carry the vessels of humanity's collective ambition to the stars. Bell rings signaling the end of lunch break. This is the technological and cultural capital of Agdalek. Its vision inherited from the Golden Age is big enough to embrace everyone's scars. Fatia clutches the key in her hand, still unable to believe that someone as ordinary and alone as herself can become part of the magnificent ventures unfolding before her eyes. From today onward, you're one of us, Nervatia. Welcome to Kardaki. Okay, so she wasn't like normally here. Rather than holding up in the dormitories, Kardaki students seem to prefer unwinding in public spaces. Unlike the dormitories Nervatia mentioned, each floor is equipped with comprehensive sports facilities. Basketball courts and treadmills on the first floor, volleyball and badminton courts on the second. Additionally, each floor featured well-stocked reading corners for students to study. A massive red banner hangs on the domed ceiling, proclaiming society's expectations for the children. Forge yourselves in this boundless world. How noisy. Dropped off her luggage earlier in the common area at the end of the first floor before reporting to the infirmary. But upon returning there, she discovers her suitcase lying open on the floor, belongings scattered across the ground. What kind of garbage game is this? I have to start all over again if I'm dead? Boss, we agreed to 1 life per person. It's my turn to play now. Yajenka. Get lost. That round doesn't count. Who gave you permission to mess with someone else's things? The girl with the eye patch sits on the sofa with her legs crossed, looking up to find a pair of furious eyes. What, is this like a maid and butler school or what? That's mine. Give it back. Fatia points at the old-fashioned handheld game console in the girl's hands. The device casing has Morgan hand-painted on it small letters and appears to be quite old. What do you mean? Zhang, isn't this thing yours? She grabs the boy beside her by the ear and twists it forcefully. Oh, boss, that hurts. Stop it. The luggage was left in a public area. Didn't that make it everyone's? I get worked up about what's yours and what's mine. You and you. Apologize. Jagenka. Is it Jagenkia or Jagenkia? I'm gonna go with the second one. Jagenkia frowns and reluctantly gets to her feet, positioning herself directly in front of Nervatia. Listen, we're all family in this place, and everything in the common area is a shared property. Don't you know that basic rule? Sorry about that, there was noise in the background. Who are you? My name's Margaret. Are you feeling any discomfort? Reaches out to gently brush a strand of hair from Nervatia's forehead. Cautiously moves her arms, finding the suffocating sensation has vanished. Strangely, the symptoms that usually torment her for over 10 minutes have completely disappeared in less than a minute. I'm fine now, thank you. Think you can stand? Here, take my hand and go slowly. Take it easy, alright? Nervatia slowly rises to her feet as Margaret gently brushes the dust from her skirt. Here you go. Your student ID and keys fell to the ground earlier. Guess what? I'm in room 303 too. We're roommates from today on. So this is the outgoing roommate the school doctor mentioned. Before Nervatia can fully process the coincidence, Margaret has already turned her attention to Jajenka. Jajenka, you've been bullying other students again. She was the one who got physical first. Questioned by Margaret, Jajenka flushes slightly as her eyes wander before finally fixing on her own shoes. Did you take something that wasn't yours? Hold out your hand. She obediently complies with a small animal cut misbehaving. Here you go, Nervatia. If Jajenka ever gives you trouble again, don't hesitate to come find me, okay? I wasn't giving her trouble. She was the one who... Before she can finish, Margaret turns around to face her. Alright. The lunch lady taught me how to make a new kind of cake recently. Wanna try some? Yeah. Then let's go. Wondering, what's with the whole maid uniform thing? Margaret takes Jajenka by the hand and leads her away briskly. See Margaret's retreating figure, Nervatia lowers her gaze to look at the key to room 303 in her hand. Wait. After a moment's hesitation, she takes a step forward. Thank you, Margaret. You already thanked me earlier. Don't be so formal with me. Can we be friends after this? Huh? But her surprise quickly melts into a delighted smile. Of course. We're roommates after all. That reminds me. It's a bracelet adorned with a pale lavender pearl. Here. This is for you, Nervatia. Margaret walks over and fastens the bracelet around Nervatia's wrist. Doesn't it suit Nervatia perfectly? Her smile is grabbing Nervatia's hand, holding it up in the air. Huh? Oh, yeah. Seemingly unwilling to meet Nervatia's gaze, Jajenka merely glances over and responds half-heartedly. Jajenka turns her face away, twirling a strand of her hair around her finger, placing a pale yellow pearl on her wrist, glimmering softly. We'll be friends from now on, okay? I look forward to our friendship, Nervatia. Yeah, I look forward to it too. Oh, Major Lee was an instructor here. Okay. Alright, you little runts. Not even heard about my heroic feats during the officer's exam. I'm sure you're all fired up. Strike while the iron's hot and get back to our main topic. As I was saying earlier, here's how you treat open wounds on the battlefield. That will help you temporarily save a leg when you're facing rapid enemies. Sincerely hope that if I ever wake up in a hospital bed, yours will be the faces I see. The perfectly dressed man lecturing at the podium is Major Lee, instructor for this year's scout training. He's also Kardaki's notoriously tight-fisted commander and the fastest rising star in the Actilic combat zone. Wait, scout? Okay. I don't know what that is, like, is that like something like that's some kind of position in the real world, or is just in the context of the game? Now, I bet you all think you're now Florence Nightingale incarnate. But let me tell you, the real test is never just about flesh wounds. War, that terrible machine, is far more skill than crushing what's in here. Perhaps this temple. Now let's discuss something more subtle. Let's say a fellow soldier's been knocked unconscious by a projectile. Besides obvious external injury, she's breathing rapidly. Skin is cold and clammy. Pulse is racing like a rocket. What condition is this? It's shock, sir. Jenka raises her hand and stands up. Neurogenic shock, induced by severe pain and fear. We need to lay her flat, elevate her legs, keep her warm, treat her wounds as quickly as possible. Good. Didn't you answer that question earlier as well? What was your name again? Jajenka, sir. I was the one who answered the question about charge principles earlier. The only one. Looks up, declaring her pride and excitement. Jajenka. Seeing your name on the Parachute Club roster. You have excellent grades, don't you? I got 6 first place finishes in 8 competitions, sir. Good. Let's say the soldier you saved has survived. Whenever she hears a thunderous noise, like a cafeteria tray dropping to the floor, she screams uncontrollably. What condition is this? She might be... Miles freezes. Scenario hadn't appeared in the material she's studying. Maybe she's traumatized? Developed some emotional scars? She's emotionally fragile and needs support and companionship from her fellow soldiers. Age's equivocal expression darkens to a frown. Emotional scars? I wanted a medical term. Something you can quickly look up in a field manual to find the proper treatment. This is a pathological issue, Jajenka. Your chicken soup pep talk won't get anyone back to the battlefield to fight the punishing virus. She shoots her head dejectedly, awkwardly twirling a strand of hair at the back of her head. However, speaking professional terminology, I should tell you once about the time I took my officer's exam on Risley Islands. 1 minute, 28 seconds. I win. Told you he couldn't go 3 minutes without bragging about himself. Damn it, it's all Jajenka's fault. If she answered a few more questions correctly, you'd be the one sweeping the hallway. The instructor continues his passionate speech at the podium. The children below resume their hushed conversations. What the hell? In the back row, Margaret lies on her desk, where a sweet-smelling cake rests. Wait, what? A bright smile is reflected in the crystal-clear gaze. Margaret. Courtney pulls a stool and sits down beside Margaret. Where were you last night? You didn't come back to the dorm. Looks at the newcomer with confusion. Who are you? I'm Nervatia, your roommate. You helped me yesterday afternoon. We're friends, remember? Nervatia raises her hand, revealing her lavender bracelet. Oh, Nervatia. What, does she just forget people? And she can only tell by people having bracelets? Like, maybe by... She, like, only remembers people by, like, a distinguishing feature, like the color evoked from those bracelets, maybe? Try this. I made this mirror glaze cake with the lunch lady. It's super delicious. Careful now, Margaret. It's the most crucial moment in a baker's life. Takes out a dainty little spoon and carefully scoops up a piece of the fragrant mirror. I'll pass. I don't really like sweets. Open wide. Wait, isn't this still in the middle of class? How would he even get away with it? Well, then again, I guess the teacher's just like gloating about his glory days, so. Before Nervatia can finish speaking, Margaret has already pumped a delicious morsel into her mouth. Satisfying aroma melts on her tongue, causing Nervatia's eyes to widen involuntarily. She kind of regrets having lunch earlier. Well, is it good? Yeah. Nervatia nods with the spoon still in her mouth as Margaret excitedly claps her hand. One step closer to becoming the world's greatest baker. I'll have Jajenka try some after class. Margaret's voice grows louder and louder. I random notices that the entire classroom is starting to stare at them. You two in the back row. Stand up. Answer my previous question. When someone hears a thunderous noise like this, it's shell shock, sir. Vatia blazed at the answer before the major could finish the question. It doesn't mean the patient is cowardly. It's a non-organic psychological trauma, and it's documented illness that requires professional treatment. Correct answer. How did you know that? It's not supposed to be covered in this lesson. I flipped through the textbook once and memorized everything. Excellent. That's the response of a top student right there. You remind me of my own military academy days. Major laughs heartily, though it is unclear whether he's praising Vatia or boasting about himself. You again. Answer this question. How do you quickly and effectively provide pain management for multiple wounded with limited resources? Medical practices in extreme combat conditions. This from the final lesson. You definitely won't know this one. Utilize any local anesthetics available in the field, such as cocaine solution, which can be applied to surface wounds or mucous membranes. Or perform simple nerve blocks by injecting small amounts of anesthetic around specific nerve trunks, in fingers or intercostal spaces to achieve pain relief in targeted areas. What's your name? Nevatia, sir. You're the transfer student, right? I'll remember you. Got 3 extra credits for the assessment. Whispers spread throughout the classroom at the mention of extra credits. Nevatia, you're so smart. That's not fair. I've answered way more questions correctly than you before this. But hearing Margaret's praise, Jajenka finally can't hold back and stands up irritably. Maintain discipline in class, Jajenka. I was just answering the instructor's questions. I don't want to argue with you. Being able to memorize a textbook means nothing. Being a pilot requires actual thinking. Do you have the guts to compete with me in other subjects? What about mathematics? Ignoring the warnings from behind, Jajenka boldly walks up to Nevatia. The classroom instantly erupts her excitement. Children are apparently delighted to witness such a scene. Go ahead. Ask. The first term of the geometric sequence is 3, and the sum of the first 3 terms is 21. What's the 5th term of the sequence? Okay, the sum of... Oh, okay, so 3 and then 2 other numbers make 21. So I just had to figure out what it is. Let me think. Wait, okay. Would it be 39? Let the common ratio be... Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, yeah. My bad. I was getting confused because I was like, what do they mean by, like with the geometric sequence? My bad. I was thinking it's like, if you're already adding numbers to then get to a certain number, what next numbers would you add with the same sequence to get to 21 by 3 would you get for the 5th one? I didn't think it was like... Let the common ratio be q. 3 plus 3q plus 3q squared equals 21, which simplifies to q, or to q squared plus q minus 6 equals 0. Solving the equation gives q equals 2 or negative 3. Ah, yep, should be right. Vati answered without a moment's hesitation, starting her process without even blinking. Therefore, the 5th term is either 3 multiplied by 2 to the power of 4, which equals 48, or 3 multiplied by negative 3 to the power of 4, which equals 243. Ah, okay. I bet. In conclusion, the answer is either 48 or 243. China in the classroom grows louder as Jajenka clenches her fist so tightly her knuckles turn white. Your turn to ask. The altitude of a right triangle is 6 centimeters. And it divides the hypotenuse into 2 segments that differ by 4 centimeters. What is the area of this triangle? Let the 2 segments be x and y, where x minus y equals 4. The altitude is h equals 6. The area is... Raise the hands in the air, trying to visualize the geometric figure in her mind. Go, Jajenka. Should I find you a blackboard, Miss Pilot? I don't need it. According to geometric mean theorem, the square of the altitude equals... The moment the classroom falls silent as the tall figure looms behind Jajenka. Jajenka, Nervatia, and you. So x times y equals 36, and because x minus y equals 4... Shut up! Jajenka, frantic with frustration, shots and flings a cake from the desk behind her. Oh shit. Collective gas echoes through the classroom, followed by instant deathly silence. Oh shit. That's bad. Not only did she throw Margaret's cake, which she worked so hard to make him was actually good, but she threw it at Major Lee. That is not good. Oh, Nervatia, check it out. The instructor's turned into Santa Claus. Oh boy. We're definitely going to detention, aren't we? After a running track, 10 minutes later. Nervatia, Jajenka, and Margaret are grouped in a 3-person scout patrol. It says to run 5 laps around the outdoor track with weighted backpacks for this opening class. Oh shit, okay. Yeah, that's definitely gonna be a lot. Weighted vests would be one thing. Weighted backpacks? That's gotta hurt. The running track extends beyond the campus grounds. Under the golden sunset, the 3 girls begin their long trek around the Kartaki rocket factories with weighted packs strapped to their backs. Every time they pass one towering smokestack, another will immediately appear on the horizon, identical to the one before. The industrial Kartaki feels like an endless labyrinth to the girls at this moment. Devati is drenched in sweat, gulping down the hot afternoon air. It feels like she's seeing a mirage, the path beneath her feet seemingly stretched on forever. She regrets not stretching properly during warm-up. On your left. Rush of wind sweeps past, followed by a familiar voice from behind. Jajenka, weren't you ahead of us? This pilot, now a full lap ahead, squeezed between the other 2 girls. Exhausted Nervatia could only glare at the girl, offering a token response to her time. Margaret, let me take some of your weights. As she says that, she opens Margaret's backpack and removes 2 cloth bags filled with sand. It feels so much lighter. Are you sure you're okay, Jajenka? Don't push yourself too hard. I'm not pushing myself at all. This is nothing compared to the training at the club. Wipes the sweat from her forehead and looks over at Nervatia, who's gasping for breath. Just yesterday, Jajenka watched her collapse in exhaustion. Her frail body really hold up. The thought makes her bite her lip as an odd, unfamiliar feeling began to stir within. She has to admit that both of Nervatia's misfortunes so far have been her fault. Nervatia, you should also... Don't touch me. You... Jajenka is stunned, not expecting Nervatia to respond to her goodwill like this. I can handle my own problems. I mean, to be fair, she could have just said no thank you. You know, like, you don't have to also add like an I appreciate it, but at least say no thank you. Nervatia. You're eating my dust transfer, student. If you collapse on the ground or beg me on your knees with tears in your eyes, I'm not going to help you. She suddenly accelerates, taking long strides and effortlessly closing the gap that Nervatia struggled to create. Their eyes meet for just a moment, but the air between them feels even hotter than the track beneath their feet. Okay. My bad. I'm trying to see what Scout is. Hunters corrupted proceeded to you relentlessly. They're definitely shrieks. Echoing all around. Okay, scout. A person employed to keep watch for some anticipated event. Someone could find path. Okay. Someone employed to discover and recruit. Okay, yeah. I know that kind of scout. Or boy or girl scout. Okay, again, not really understanding the meaning. Whatever, who cares? The collapsed smokestack has fractured the road into winding paths as waves of enemies surge from every direction. Lottie and you fight fiercely as you navigate through the chaos. How can there be so many corrupted? Roll the dodge attack, now provide to take out the enemy in front of you. Or glance at Avanti as you quickly surrounded. All thanks to that explosion. Swings are massive sight. Instead, the edge erupting with force, covering your path through the sea of steel and sending out dust billowing into the air. Who gave you permission to touch my little raven? Scythe strikes from within the dust. Its ghost-like form, hooking the corrupted's body and dragging it to Navatia's feet. She brings her right foot down, crushing the corrupted's head into a metal pole. Nice teamwork. Don't worry, little raven. I'll watch your back. Having temporarily cleared the threats ahead, Navatia takes out a vial of serum and presses it against the device action. Give it an injection. The sound almost inaudible grunt of pain before continuing forward to catch up with you. Wait, is she like running out of stamina? Or again, is this like her makeshift way of being able to survive in the red mist without using the device, right? Because she says she's saving it as a backup? Are we gonna shake the corrupted behind us? When my subordinates face situations like this, I usually advise them. You cannot run them, kill them all. We could give it a shot. Just the two of us. Not now, little raven. You're a precious mission objective, and I won't risk your safety. Keep running. See that factory up ahead? Following Navatia's gaze, you can make out a massive assembly plant rising from the hazy horizon, like a dormant beast slowly revealing itself from the red mist. Finding indoors, we surrounded in no time. But it also saves us the trouble of hunting them out one by one. What's your plan? That's a Kartaki rocket factory. During the Golden Age, it helped humanity conquer the galaxy. Perhaps it will also help us if we get a bit more creative. Little Raven, you ever seen a firework display? There's a human with a mysterious smile. This time, we can be in the front row. Oh, is she gonna try to like collapse the front door or something so then it like destroys everything? And then like instead of fireworks, it's just gonna be a splatter of like corrupted blood? Metal hooves pound against steel blades. Anchored out the factory like thousands of blades scraping and grinding against each other. Becomes corrupted are scaling the walls like ants toward the light at the end narrow corridor. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Sharp click of her heels against iron plates echoes her tall figure stands bathed in light. This is Kartaki, cradle of the eternal engine, and one of the pillars that carried Agdalek to the stars. With the thundering noise, Fatih announces in a commanding, unruffled voice. Monsters looking in the dark seem enticed by her words. They roars of fury as they surge toward her. People believed the achievements forged by their hammers would stand eternally. Yet a sudden catastrophe shattered the grandeur they had pridefully built over decades in a single night. How many souls lie buried here, forced to witness you defiling their homeland? Now it's your turn to taste the wrath of these spirits. The cane strikes the floor. Then there's a massive floodlight. Suddenly come to life, slicing through the abyss of darkness, illuminating the entire factory. On the eastern side of the corridor stands an imposing massive rocket engines. Get a Raven. He calls out loudly, looking up toward the control room. Stand there, your right hand hovering over the dust-covered glass safety panel. Oh, I see. But when you press the button, a deep humming rises from beneath your feet, like distant thunder heralding approaching storm. Then, the blink of an eye, that sound pierces through the silence, transforming into an ear-shattering roar that shakes heaven and earth. The trembling space beneath, dark red tongues of flame coalesce into a white torrent of plasma. Massive nozzles transform into great axes forged by raging fire, cleaving through the enemies just feet away. Under colossal force of the flame, those are corrupted or incinerated in an instant, as they rest in a brilliant white light before melting away into nothingness. Moments later, the liquid oxygen and kerosene that has lain dormant for years is almost spent. Plasma subsides, leaving behind pale gray smoke and a trail of scorching debris stretching hundreds of meters down the tunnel. Nervatia. You stand a long staircase where every way the intense smoke in front of you as you search for any sign of your companion. Covering her nose and mouth, Nervatia leans on the side for support as she slowly emerges from the edge of the smoky veil. You hurt? Just a bit unwell. She staggers, her shoulder crashing into you as the scythe slips from her grasp and clatters to the ground. Her skin is burning hot. Sit here and rest for a moment. I need to examine you. I'm a construct. I already ran a self-diagnostic. I'm fine. She got her hand, she whispered, but you're trembling. I'm fine. It's okay. Your support, Nervatia slowly sits down at the table, her bag to pick up her weapon from the floor. You hear a trembling groan behind you, followed by a series of sharp clattering noises. Nervatia's collapsed onto the table, medical vials scattered across the floor. Legs are curled up, slender fingers are almost completely drained of color as she shivers slightly with each labored breath. We close to quickly examining her trembling, exhausted frame, we find no obvious external injuries. Her mind might be infected. In an instant, an endless hum surrounds you like raging waves. The moment you connect with Nervatia's mind, you immediately sense something wrong within. No signs of the punishing virus infection. But your mind becomes useless here. Cold and desolate. Complete stillness chills down your spine. Whoa, what the hell? Massive vortex hangs at the center of this unnatural calm, twisting expanding boundaries, devouring any thoughts or intentions that dare to approach it. What the hell is this? At the edge of the vortex, you glimpse fragments of Nervatia's memories. I mean, I guess her mind kind of has been a mess for a while. The Raven. Weak murmur pulls you back to reality. What do you need me to do, Nervatia? Gaze is unfocused. Her eyelashes fluttering like dying butterflies as her weary eyes settle on you. My prescription. She points to the vials at her feet. She weakly opens her arms, glances down at the blue device on her chest before looking back up at you. You remove the plastic cover from the needle and gently sit down beside her. Translucent liquid gleams in the glass vial. Injecting medication to a construct is a rare occurrence in your military career. Seems to notice your hesitation. Lips part slightly, her eyes misty and flickering, as if giving you silent permission. Thank you, little raven. She wipes away the condensation at her temple and looks at you as a sigh of relief as well. Devatia. Sorry, there was noise in the background. Also, I was checking my AirPod for some reason. One of them had like a bit of static. Cause I'm like, is it like from what we're going through? But it's like, no, it's just that one. I'm one of those people, an impenetrable shell housing a terminal case of mental health issues. The construct operation didn't cure your condition. Suddenly pulls herself up, speaking with unsettling casualness. Sometimes it's triggered by a violent explosion. Other times by an ordinary argument. Any trivial aspect of daily life can set it off. To keep it from interfering with my work, I need tranquilizers to suppress it. Is it always this painful? Always. It's been over 20 years now. Picks up her weapon from the ground and carefully searches her body. Her tone remains calm, as if she's long accustomed to these episodes recurring throughout her life. Has she had this agony has ravaged her body and mind thousands upon thousands of times before? I'll admire her resilience. Your notification for the comms at your waist. Comms is restored? However, the signal loss display on your terminal quickly dispels your assumption. God damn it. Perhaps the rocket's impact earlier disrupted the red mist somehow. Right, because it becomes a form of plasma, right? Because it's not simple, like, combustion, right? Devatia leans in close, reading the message from the military alongside you. The military is broadcasting information of a satellite city just outside Kardaki, advising me to evacuate for now. No. They don't know what's happening inside the radiation zone. Nobody knows what disaster might unfold if we allow the golden tree to keep growing. Pulia Forest Park. That place should mean more to you than it does to me. Chilling memories flood back into your mind. Yeah. Because, true, we tried to get rid of a mother, and in the end, we did succeed. However, unfortunately, the twins had already come to life by that point, which led to the disaster, so we can't really afford to ignore this, because, yeah, this situation is kind of similar. A desolate area that seemed to be, like, completely filled with corrupt and punishing, but also seemed to have something that was, like, multiplying. You're right. Nothing related to the punishing virus can be delayed. But that's Nervantia meeting her wary gaze. The corrupt in this area have been mostly eliminated. So why don't you stay here and rest, or head to that satellite city? You have 2 red mist blockers. I can do this myself. Words are cut short as Nervantia suddenly flicks your forehead. First off, little raven, I'm perfectly fine right now. You don't need to worry about my condition. Not now, not ever. I can take care of myself, so don't let it distract you. Kardaki was the frontier of mind research during the Golden Age, and Asimov sent me here to recover the lost data. Just like you, I also have a duty to fulfill. But I also have a more personal reason to be here. I need to uncover the true cause of the great Actolith explosion, and find out exactly what destroyed my homeland. She stares at you, her eyes gleaming with unwavering determination. I've waited too long for this. Whether for duty or personal reasons, I won't let you venture in there alone. She moves closer, reaching out to gently brush the dust on your cheek. As security director, perhaps my judgment carries more weight when it comes to safety issues. Wouldn't you agree, little Raven? I understand. Respect your decision. Her mind made up, all you can do is cooperate and move forward with her, till the truth behind the radiation zone's expansion is uncovered. Should we rest a bit before heading out? That's not necessary. We wasted enough time dealing with the corrupted. As you said, matters regarding the punishing virus can't be delayed. No one knows what other surprises the radiation zone that tree might have in store for us. Fontia rises to her feet with the help of her scythe and extends her hand to you. Protecting humanity from future threats. That's a duty we both share. Let's move out now. I mean, fair point. It's not like we can ignore this. Outskirts, meanwhile. The metallic ring of clashing blades reverberates in the air, followed by blood-curdling screams that echo in the dense forest. Don't worry. Get behind me. Two corrupted stalk closer through the lingering mist like specters looking at the night. Out of skulls emanating a dark red glow. Stay calm. Stay calm. Seeing his destroyed sidearm at the base of the tree, the human draws a combat knife from his waist while stealing a glance at the refugee retreating behind him. Red glow flares and a cold metallic shimmer cuts through the fog, glitching toward the man with deadly speed. I'll take you down with me! Get back! A commanding voice rings out from above. The silver flash, the metal chain whips down from the treetops, wrapping around the corrupted skull as it advances. The natural figure descends while gripping the other end of the chain. His momentum to hoist the corrupted off the ground in an instant, stabbing his neck with a loud crack. Don't just stand there. Get back. Yes! Corrupted shrieks, lunging toward at lightning speed. Well, aren't you eager? Don't worry. I got enough for all you pieces of trash. Time seems to slow. Dust particles hang suspended in the air as she faces the deadly blade mere inches away. Is her weapon, and in a split second has the creature's head locked in their crosshairs. Open wide. Time for a bullet feast. Pulls the trigger and the gunpowder ignites with a roar. Bullet house through the air, piecing the corrupted's forehead. What, did she do close? Oh, okay, that's an assault rifle. Okay, I thought it was a sniper, because I was gonna be like, no way. She like went close range with a sniper, but then again, there'd probably be a lot of prep and recoil from if that was the case. I mean, maybe you could find a way to be able to use one as a concert. No, actually, yeah, because Wanshi does, doesn't he? He uses a sniper rifle. Well, at least his initial frame did. The Hypnos one? Is that what the name of his first frame was? Okay. As the rigid metal course falls forward, the female soldier steps slightly aside, letting he drop to the ground. Take the refugees and get out of here quickly. This area isn't safe. That eye patch. You're... This woman's about to turn and leave. The soldier behind her calls out. What? Losing an eye a big deal these days? Boss? Oh! Soldier's eyes widen as his combat knife falls from his hand. Chichenka! Upon getting a closer look at the soldier's face, Chichenka's expression also turns to surprise. Shang? It's me, Boss! He rolls up his sleeve, revealing an old childhood scar. When did you get so old? I see your sharp tongue hasn't dulled one bit, Boss. Hangs his head in resignation. But why are you back in Carnegie? Weren't you... It's a long story. Answered the mist spreading around them. This isn't time for reminiscing. When the red mist suddenly spread? What's the situation in the satellite city? I'm not sure. The red mist suddenly spread from across the river last night. The corrupted are everywhere. We lost contact with Babylonia. Oh, so they... So what? Is it like So is it like whoever survived, like some people close to it had already like retreated into the satellite city, and that's how Zhang survived? Or I mean, I guess this could be an illusion too because of the red mist, but I highly doubt it. The corrupted were hiding in the fog and attacking aggressively. It's like government units were scattered and now mixed with refugees nearby. So I'm here to escort them back. So Kardaki is now isolated by the punishing virus. There are probably several thousand people in the satellite city now, including the refugees and scattered troops. Our forces can barely defend ourselves, let alone break through with all these people. The good news is that the red mist on this side of the river is quite thin. It's not lethal yet, at least. Who knows what's gonna happen next? Kardaki's too dangerous now. Are you still planning to go back? Boss, I'm a Kardakian through and through. Does the satellite city have high caliber sniper rounds and serum? There are more enemies than I expected. I need to restock my supplies. We do have those, but I'm coming back with you then. Before Shane can finish, Jajenka is already on the move. Boss, are you on some kind of mission? What exactly are you trying to do here? Holds up the letter signed Nervatia. I received information about the truth behind a great Actolic explosion. And I've heard that as the bottle of promotion slowly surfaces, she lowers her gaze and falls silent for a moment. She carefully utters her name. Margaret. She's still alive. What? Margaret? Yeah, because I was wondering, it's like, if that's her, then what happened to Margaret? Because, I mean, she probably could have potentially died. Oh, I see. I didn't notice this detail until now. The city's getting smaller, but also the seed is turning into a sapling and it's growing. Oh, that's cool. But wait, learn the truth. But Nervanti hadn't learned anything yet, right? Or is it just about like the fact that when she looked in the files, it said nothing about it, right? So it's like now they need to find out what really happened. But before we continue, I feel like I can at least do another one of this because I'm assuming it's not gonna spoil me too much. So I can at least do this next part. Oh, okay, yeah, these said voice on it. I see. Because I was like, they're actually voiced, really? Okay, so with this one...
もう一度だけ考えてみて、ホワイト博士。レノア博士のかつての同僚であり、
Like I said, I'm just gonna do a
友人だ
bit
っ
of
たあ
this
な
and
た
then
の証言
move
は
back. Again,
真実へ至る鍵なの。
I know it's weird with the back and forth, but like I said, I don't want to necessarily spoil myself. If we talk about more specific information later on.
何度でも言う。俺は彼女が事件に巻き込まれる前に別のチームに移動してる。その件については一切知らない。協力義務はもう果たした。そして個人的な感情の上ではレノアの話をしたくない。科学理事会の安全総監なんかとは特にな。
Wait, I know this voice. I think. Is this Zeldaris from Seven Deadly Sins, like Meliodas' brother? It kind of sounds like it, but I could be wrong. But it's like there's a bit of in the tone, but I could be wrong. Let's be. Oh, my bad. Volume's pretty loud. Let me. Okay, there we go. Visibly exhausted man grips the doorknob tightly. His gaze darting between you and Nervatia, who are standing at his doorstep. Eventually, he furrows his brow and closes his eyes.
話せることは以上だ。
Darkness creeps in as streetlights flicker to life. Sunlight rapidly fades after a full day of investigation. You turn toward Nervatia with a hint of resignation, only to find her composed aura remains undisturbed as she meets your eyes with a hint of a smile.
渋い顔をしてどうしたの？カラスさん、もしかしてお疲れ？
I will say, her voice is enchanting. Kinda reminds me of Ishmael. That was the last witness on our list. The others didn't provide any useful information either.
聞き込みとは謎解きなのよ。 人々の心の鍵穴の形を調べ、それに合う鍵を探す作業。すぐに見つからなくても鍵はきっとある。少しだけ視点と手段を変えてみればいい。つけられている。後ろの角、襟を立てたベージュのコートの男。モリガンによれば3ブロックにわたって尾行してきてるわ。彼の前にも別の影がいた。
Using Navatia's infra device's cover, you glance over it with your peripheral vision and realize the man does look somewhat familiar. Looks like someone's taking a keen interest in our progress.
私は影に隠れてコソコソされるのが昔から嫌いなの。相手が誰であれ、トラブルを起こして注意を別にそらしてやりましょう。大丈夫。考えがあるわ。
She gives you a sly glance, the corners of her lips curling into a smile.
さあ、私の腰に手を回して。
Oh, wow. Asking for a dance? Now, gotta be confident. I'm the Grey Raven Commandant.
あら、ずいぶん手慣れているのね。
Would it be
もし
wrong
かし
if I
て
said yes?
これをずっと狙ってた？
Sana. The woman in the black feathered dress smiles with satisfaction, tilting her head slightly in one direction.
ついてきて。もっとふさわしい場所で話をしましょう。
Ooh, now this is a ritzy club. I've never been here before. Lighting is dim and dreamy, diffusing into shades of blue and purple, like twilight melting into bioluminescent sea. The music flows leisurely, running through hushed conversations, punctuated by the crisp sound of ice cubes clicking against glass. Ah, I see. So we're looking like we're going on a date at the club. Linking arms, Navati and you walk through the scattered crowd like two fish swimming in tandem until you reach the bar. Ah, cool. It's like the spy movies of the good old days. Shaken, stirred. Female consort leans casually against the counter and a bartender immediately approaches.
連れがいるなんて珍しいじゃないネイティア。お連れさんは特別な誰か？グレイレイブン指揮官だから当然特別ね。いや、そうじゃなくてもっと別の意味だったんだけど。
The bartender, fully well acquainted with Navati, gestures a lack of distance between you two, giving you an annoying wink and hands over two menus.
まずは当店自慢の特製カクテルでも人間用と構造体用それぞれ用意してありますよ。つまみも自慢なんで晩飯がまだならぜひ。
Now you're talking. With all the life and death situations, I barely get a good meal.
同じものにする。あなたのセンスにかけてみるわ。何よりあなたの情報を集めることは私の数少ない楽しみの一つだし。
Damn. Damn, she's fine. Find the upright menu, she gives you a meaningful glance on nothing they're still here before turning to call the bartender over.
個室を使える？後の注文はすべてそこに運んで。了解。
After an impressive display of drink mixing flair, the bartender slides two brimming cup glasses toward you both. Vatia lifts one up with a playful smile, bringing the red to her lips. The flutter of her lashes, female Cossack's eyes gleam with curiosity and anticipation. Her intentions crystal clear.
味見する？
Call her early suggestion about making a scene. But it's not the time to hesitate. Of course I wouldn't. The fuck would I hesitate? Not with such a bewitching lady in front of me. Olivier would be disappointed in me if I rejected it. Like, if you're given an invitation, why not accept it? Simultaneously, she leans forward, tapping lips grazing the opposite rim of the glass as she shares the drink. Whoa! Damn! She is quite the specimen. Just for only the two of you can hear a company's delivering taste on your tongue.
飲み込みが早いわね、カラスさん。
What can I say? I'm a cultured man.
じゃあ、あの目障りな尾行者に最後のパンくずを投げておくわ。
Her dark gold gauntlet traces slowly down the contours of your arm, brushing over your pulse before sliding to your palm.
個室がそろそろ準備できた頃ね。夜は短く、夢は長い。一刻も無駄にはできないわ。
Damn, you know this voice actress is if they can say that without any hesitation. Soundproof door slide shut and locks behind you. Motion-sensitive light strips are awakened by the black-clad construct's footsteps, casting a soft glow that's bright enough to keep drowsiness at bay. Navantia sinks into the booth with languid elegance, absently running her fingers through her long hair before twirling a pale strand across her fingertip.
さすがだなネイチャー。あんたらが中に入った途端、尾行者は監視をやめたぞ。
I see. So we need to create a casual way of getting some alone time, right? If we just did it abruptly, they'd be like, oh no, they caught on to us. Let's go get them now, right? But this way, it's like, at least it's a more like playful way of being like, damn, we can't go any further. But it, again, gives them the sense that it's like, they're not tailing us, but... Or I mean, like, they don't notice us, but we just can't go any further to bring suspicion on ourselves. Especially in a crowded area like that club. Seriously, this is like a spy movie.
外は引き続きわしが見張るから、何かあったら合図しろ。できれば呼ばないでほしいけどな。なんとなくこれ以上見ちゃいけない気がするし。
Arizona cuts the comms before he can finish, bringing the instrument lightly on the cushion behind.
ここに座って少し休みましょう。ここには私が直々に設置した妨害装置が仕込んであるの。これか安全総監としての仕事の一日。指揮官の感想はどうだった？
I'm getting used to it.
さすが幾多の試練を乗り越えてきた精鋭指揮官ね。カヘティ事件でも今回の件でも。
Yeah, because again, it's like we're making a light reference to the main story thing, but we're not leaking details, at least so far, which is good, because like I said, I didn't want to be leaked on that yet. Same goes for you. It's a very effective counter-surveillance technique.
不穏な訪問者には望むものを差し出すべし。その方が逆手に取るよりもずっと楽なのよ。調査に行き詰まったネイティアが遊び歩く。そんな話なら彼らは喜んで信じてくれる。
Yeah.
私たちが手を下すまでもなくね。
Yeah, because let's say that, for example, we caught on to them, we approached them, and then we tried to make them like give like a cancel call or something, like to abort the mission. They probably have code words for themselves to be like, we've been compromised and don't trust this information we're giving you, right? Because again, if you're against a security director, you have to know it's not that simple to like get one over on her.
一方的な幻想に浸れば浸るほど、それが崩された時の怒りは激しい。でも私はその怒りを私に力があった証だと受け取る。
Damn, she is a dangerous woman in a lot of different ways. Like, we've encountered some in the past in different games, but she's definitely a different breed. Damn. Seriously, so cool. Settling for Fury seems insufficient. We deserve something better. Under Devontae's slightly surprised gaze, you open the menu and read from start to finish, carefully selecting items. Making a show of enjoying the food is also part of the plan.
付き合えば付き合うほどあなたって物事の見方がユニークね。
Seriously, it's like two spies entangled in a dance of deception and truth. What could be better? Like, seriously, the way she acts is like she's perfect as my supporting role, or like as co-main character roles. Soon a small service robot knocks at the door of your private room. Tray holds an assortment of savory and sweet pastries, cheese and fruit, all prepared in perfect bite-sized portions. Delicacies gradually melt away your fatigue and dissipate your stress. Vatia seems to genuinely enjoy watching you eat, until you settle down your utensils before addressing the actual business.
もっと私を驚かせて、カラスさん。事件の情報を羅列して交互に質問し合いながら整理していきましょう。
You know, I'm getting used to the nickname Little Raven.
認
It's
証、
growing on me.
物証、当事者双方。この情報パズル、まずは私から始めるわね。
Ah, I get how she wants to do it. She wants us to like clash our information, right? Like if we go with one perspective, the other can clash with like a counterpoint or an inquiry that would like corroborate that other point, right? And then we start making a grander picture. Kind of like as they say, like sometimes fighting brings you closer, right? The Black Cat consort projects recordings of today's interview from her terminal, or it rises to her feet and pastes to the opposite side of the room. He plays each recording in sequence, filling the room with statements ranging from blunt to tactful.
見ての通り、今回の共同プロジェクトの実験結果をすぐに提出しないといけないんです。とても手が足りないんです。
ネイティアも覚えてるでしょ。バルデン教授がレノンに継いだリソースは当時私たちの間でも羨望の的だった。もちろんその分プレッシャーもあったはず。正直もうずいぶん前の話だし、しかも教授の指名で彼女が担当した研究よ。私なんかが口を挟む余地も情報もなかった。
そして個人的な感情の上ではレノアの話をしたくない。科学理事会の安全総監なんかとは特にな。
あなたは執行部隊の指揮官。私とは異なる立場、異なる視点から多くの場所で多くの人々に接してきた。多くの場合、真実は板挟みの奥に隠れている。あなたの目に証言者たちが目していた理由はどう映った？
Alright, let's go in order then. Let's go with the busy man. With Han, there's a conflict of interest.
彼は今、バルデン教授が持ってきた共同プロジェクトの責任者なの。そのバルデンに何かあったら、彼にとっても明暗が分かれる。
Because I was thinking is that like, partly it's the connection with Walden, right?
暗い方は、プロジェクトは中止されて努力は水の泡。明るい方は無実を示し、バルデンの後釜に収まれるかも。彼と同じ立場の者は他にもいたわね。
Yeah, if anything, it's like they're kind of clutching at like their salvation, which is Professor Walden. For those who remain silent out of self-interest, we need to appeal to something beyond personal gain. Not for the uninvolved. If all real, there's insufficient information.
その通りね。彼女の反応が示すのは、私たちが提示した証拠がまだ足りないということ。
Yeah, let me actually see what they said. I want to make sure. It should be like something around here. Okay, yeah. As you can see, they're asking for the test results. Busy man. I got damn, I accidentally pressed. Oh, it's because I'm moving the left control stick while doing this. My bad. Can't spare time. Yeah. You must remember how we all secretly envied the amount of resources Professor Walder invested in at the time. Of course, that investment came with this, but to be honest, it's been so long. Yeah, because she's being neutral. It's not like she's saying yeah. It's not like she's saying no, but she's also not saying yes. She's vaguely being in the middle where it's like she could have information about Lenore, but at the same time, it's like, can I risk giving that information? Like, will it come back to haunt me? I mean, as for personal matters, I don't want to talk more, especially not with the council security director. Like, does he know she's on the case or something? I mean, she obviously would have stuff. To put it another way, we can win over these witnesses if we gather more evidence. Yep, for personal matters. With wit, that's emotional baggage.
彼は私が進めた調査がレノアを自殺へ追い込んだと思ってる。
Yeah.
私が一人で会いに行ったら口を開くことさえなかったでしょうね。
Yeah, because the thing is, the way he said it too, it definitely sounded a bit like hate. Or maybe not even to the amount of hate, but just like he despises her, right? See, don't want to talk about her with anyone, especially not with her. Which means like there is definitely anger directed toward her regarding the subject, as if like Lenore's someone like special in his mind, and with her trying to talk about her against, like, it's almost like he's saying, "How dare you?" That's the kind of like vibe I get from it. Yeah, especially since the message kind of came from Morgan himself. Sentiments may be hiding a clue. Perhaps I should approach him again. It's everything we can figure out for now.
利益、情報、感情。
Very clever. We're looking at different points. Because that's the thing, it's like, in one perspective, you can look at everyone's statements and be like, okay, what do they all have in common to be like why they're all shutting up? But that works in some cases if they actually are working for the same person, but that works if like if their responses are more like similar to each other, or if they all involve a particular subject that's part of their reasoning that has a commonality between like the case and such. But that doesn't work all the time. Looking at it, each of these independently again shows like, okay, are some people involved in this? Are some people not? We need to determine that first, and then we can think about our approach going forward. Very clever. Because again, like I said, I would have thought initially that we try to find the similarity in all three, but again, she proved that that's not the case. Very good. Because like I said, that's why I was thinking just look for the common point where all three and just be like, oh, okay, maybe Walden's pressuring them, but it's like, that's not exactly what they said, and you couldn't infer that from their responses either. So her way of doing it was much better.
では、目先の損得を超えて傷を再び見つめ直す勇気を与えるものって何?
What will make someone set aside their immediate concerns and find enough courage, conscience of responsibility, a sense of security, empathy. I guess a sense of security because, again, to set aside the immediate concerns, meaning that by giving the information there would be something to like have a guarantee of, right? You can give empathy, but that doesn't change the fact that it's like, okay, you're like thinking about them but not doing anything about it. So I would say a sense of security to me.
とても示唆に富んだ答えね。心に留めておくわ。
Oh, was I just saying like all three, like generally? Okay, I thought it was just one or the other.
さあ、次はあなたが質問する番よ。
Don't mind if I do. a way, she bears a striking resemblance to the mechanical raven that's always by her side. A flash of insight, you recognize the most crucial clue. The key evidence in our possession now is Morrigan, who played out that whistleblowing report. The deceased was able to hide it within his code, and entrust her final wishes to you. Tell me about the story of Morrigan, Lenore, and you. Emmy's brewing her crystal red eyes. Navatia slowly lowers her lashes, then gently raises them again. With an almost imperceptible sigh, she smiles faintly. Impossible to tell whether it's tenderness or melancholy.
これまで一度もあの頃のことをあなたに話したことはなかったわね。一羽の無垢な鳥は苦しみで鍛えられた声なら裏切られた者の代わりに叫べると思っていた。でも怒りは彼女の翼を焼き落とし、別の世界と別のルールに墜落させた。私が壊れた携帯ゲーム機を抱えて科学理事会に足を踏み入れた日、私を実験室へ連れて行ったのはアシモフではなくレノアだったの。モリガンの改造技術を教えてくれたのもね。
Okay. This doesn't seem to connect to the other story. Because again, it's just talking about, I'm assuming, her time after the Carta key incident, right? Like this is after that. So I guess we'll do another one and then we'll do one more of the story. Yeah, I think we can do that.
私は過去にとどまる。でもあなたたちの物語はこれからも先に。
Ah, shit. Okay, this is spoil. You know what? Fuck it. We're already at this point. Oh, so this was Margaret. I was wondering, like, I can't tell who this figure is.
なぜ？どうしてそんなところに行くの？初めから違った。あんたは最初からカヘティの人間じゃなかったのね。
今日からはその鋭さも爪も覚醒、自制と忍耐を保ち、力を蓄えて刀を抜く日を待つんだ。
Oh, wait, this is Asimov for the past? Yo. Will I actually ever get to see it eventually? I hope I do a main story. Like an actual figure. Okay, so if I had to guess, what happened here was after the Carta Key incident, she decided to leave and go to Babylonia, right? Hence what Jajenkia was like, why would you do it? Why would you abandon us? Babylonia abandoned us. Now you're going to as well, is what I'm assuming. But probably what Nervatia was trying to do was uncover the secrets by joining, right? Because someone else did the same thing before. Unfortunately, I can't remember who exactly did that, but someone joined Babylonia or was trying to rise in power within Babylonia's ranks, so then they could finally be able to unlock certain information that they wouldn't have been able to otherwise, right? Because no other route would have given them that, but by working with, not the enemy, but with this neutral party that somehow has the information, they'd be close to discovering the truth than if they were just to stay there forever, practically stuck in the past.
目を覚まして、ナイティア。力を抜いて、私の呼吸に合わせて。自分の腕を傷つけちゃうわよ。
Okay, but at least that didn't spoil me too much. Again, it just gives me a general idea of like the ending, but not too much. So yeah, this will probably be the last connection part I do until much, much later. Struggling to lift her heavy, damp eyelids, she slowly focuses on the small, thin woman in the lab coat standing before her. Lenore doesn't touch her. The woman who had guided Nervatia to the laboratory remembers her wariness of others. With the same precision, one would memorize test data. Seeing her gradually slow her breath, Lenore gives a small nod.
もう大丈夫。ありがとう。
どういたしまして。
Only then does Lenore's gaze sweep across the numeric holographic displays on the table, and settle on the central mound where a raven-shaped cub sits with half his components exposed, clearly abandoned mid-assembly when his owner became too exhausted to continue.
何か問題が起きたの？
調査中なの。ハードウェアには異常なし、ソフトウェアのバージョンとの非互換性がある可能性もある。現状は合成データでの動作確認しかしていないから、今調整するわ。
分かった。こっちのデータは明日で一段落するから、終わったら手伝うわ。もう夜中の3時よ。ずっと見張るつもりなら、私の折りたたみベッドで少し休んで。肉体ってほんと燃費悪いのよね。大事に使わないと。
Perhaps the late hour had weakened Nevatia's self-restraint. The question she would never dare ask in the light of day now slips from her lips.
なぜ私にいろいろ教えてくれるの？私はあなたの後輩でも同僚でもない。過去に処分歴のあるよそ者よ。あなたに返せるものなんて何もないのに。
Lenore presses her brow, dark circles under her eyes no less pronounced than Nevatia's. She carefully weighs her words.
ここで浅い関係のまま深い話をするのはあまり賢明じゃないわ。こんなことを言うと一気に20歳くらい老けた気分。気をつけた方がいいわ。なぜを問うことはできないと口にするのと同じくらい危うい。それでも理由が知りたいなら、あなたが来るまでこの実験室で夜を過ごすのはいつも私一人だった。だからあなたがいてくれることに少しだけ感謝していると思って。ちょっと待ってて。
She retrieves a patterned tin box from her desk, opens it, and holds it out to Nevatia. A sweet aroma wafts from the tin inside are round almond cookies.
もうダメって時はこれを食べて自分を慰めて。人生はこんなに脆くないってね。
人生はこんなに脆くない。彼女がそんな言葉を口にしたのが今でも信じられない。時々ほんの一瞬だけたまに思うの。あの白衣の内側に詩人の魂が隠されているんじゃないかって。
How long do you work with Lenore?
ほんのわずかよ。モリガンの整備記録に彼女の名前をよく見かけたけど、バルデンや他の実験室の責任者たちは私のようなはみ出し物を長くは置いてくれない。アシモフの法的保障は通行証にはなっても身分証や免罪符にはならない。私がこの場所で得た立場は全て私自身で勝ち取ったものよ。補給実験室、放射科学実験室、ナノ科学センター。私は各部門を渡り歩き、許された限りの知識を最速で学び続けたわ。研究法から施設運営までありとあらゆることをね。人々は私のことを科学理事会の幽霊と呼んでた。 そしてある日、その幽霊はプレゼン資料を携えてアシモフのオフィスのドアを叩いた。そして具体例を用いて科学理事会の安全規則を回避するあらゆる方法を示したの。
Sometimes an outsider sees more clearly.
あの表情、今思い出しても笑えるわ。でもそのプレゼンのおかげで私はリスク管理部門の職に就けた。私が担当した調査の中でレノアの行為は最悪でも最重の処分対象でもなかった。人には明日へとつながっている透明な一本の糸がある。でも彼女の糸はその時ぷつりと切れてしまったの。これがモリガンの物語の後半。渡りガラスは空をかけるけれど、人の縁はかつてと同じ場所には戻らない。
I'm grateful, Narvatia. You're willing to share your story, and that you made it through.
その視線、言葉。あなたは本当に罪な人ね。
You feel a sudden coolness against you. Navanti has pressed the flat side of her gauntlet to your face.
本題に戻りましょう。検証はまだ終わってない。物語を聞いて新しいひらめきはあった？
Nora used to be involved in Morgan's maintenance. The whistleblower report could be planted back then. The fact that you didn't find it means she perfectly exploited your blind spot.
彼女なら計画性と記憶力の両方を備えている。確かにあり得るわ。
A meticulous thinker, deliberately leading us to the truth even in death. She must have left more clues. Perhaps the other clues were also hidden in your blind spot like the report for some reason. The construct in the black feathered skirt crosses her arms, puts her finger to her lips and nods thoughtfully.
モリガンのベースコードをすべて手作業で精査するのは時間的に不可能ね。でも正しい切り口を見つければ最短でたどり着ける。ヒントになりそうなのはあの告発ね。あのメッセージで唯一意味不明な文章があった。黒き鳥よ、この世界に雨の幕が降りるとき、どうか孤独に泣かないで。
A glimmer flashes in her crimson eyes as Narvatia seems to realize something, turning to look at you pensively.
カラスさん、一緒にこの言葉を声に出して読んで。
Oh, sing it, right? Together. Yeah, don't sing your lament alone. While your voices fade, light strips of the previously dormant console illuminate one by one. And as he floats upward, Narvatia gently places her palm over your hand. Yep.
シークレットドキュメント1846タイムラグ起動優先度最高音声
Narvatia.
ドキュメントアンロック
Ah, because it couldn't be her voice, right? It had to be someone accompanying her. Someone she could trust. Feel my construct's fingers suddenly tighten around yours. Some mechanical lock has been activated by the right key. Your gears are clicking perfectly into place. Yours are the gazes of truth hunters. Your touch, a declaration of victory. Your smile is sharp and spirited, brimming with admiration.
ビンゴ。
Well done.
二人でないと解けない謎だったなんて。さあ、私たちの成果を一緒に受け取りましょう、指揮官。
Before you hold your breath in anticipation as Nervante opens the document, it's a list of names. Beneath the rather short list is a single line of small text.
私は涙を矢にいて捧げ、決意の時を待つ。このリストにある数名は私たちがすでに訪ねた人ね。で、
Gold-plated fingers tap lightly across the limited screen tracing a few marks.
見て、一番目の名前はホワイト博士よ。やっぱり彼は何かを隠してる。
Another poem, another key.
矢を射て捧げる。その矢が何かはさておき、レノアはリストの人たちに何かを託したのね。彼らは今も彼女のためにそれを守っている。あなたの予想通りね。この詩こそ秘密を開く鍵なのかもしれない。次のラウンドに進む時が来たわ。
Sorry about that. I don't know why, but it just like spasmed for a second. Don't even know why, but I'm fine now. I'm fine now.
まずは最も難敵から始めましょう。ホワイト博士を説得する方法をひらめいたの。前回は私の名前でコンタクトを取ったけど、今回はあなたの番。グレイレイ分指揮官の名声を少しだけ貸してもらえる？もう文章は完成しているから、あとはあなたらしい言葉で仕上げて。
It's okay if I work on your terminal?
もしかして安全総監の仕事ってあれもダメ、これも秘密なんじゃないかって心配？そうね。もしうっかり見ちゃったら3冊分の秘密保持契約にサインするか。あなたを科学理事会に移動させて私の首席秘書官になってもらうしかないわね。
Then you'll have to sign them with me. As much I wouldn't be too impartial to the second one, but I got the Grey Raven squad to think about.
本当にその気はない？カラスさん。私のオファー結構大真面目なんだけど。
I'd rather a relationship not be one of superior and subordinate.
その答え気に入ったわ。納得できた。今のところはね。
はいはい。
心配しないで。これは仕事用じゃなくプライベートの端末。見たければ中身を全部見ても問題ないわ。渡してる私の連絡先はプライベートのものなの。私たちだけの秘密の宝箱にまた一つ宝石が増えたってことね。
Seriously, this woman is so dangerous. Send a letter with a verse attached to Dr. Witt under your name. Mere minutes later, a notification chimes with a response. Your constant raising an eyebrow with composed anticipation.
面会は明日の午前中。向こうも焦ってるみたい。この調子ね、カラスさん。隠し部屋での駆け引きは一旦ここまで。これからはもっとエキサイティングな攻防になりそうよ。
Alright, half done. Nice. Alright, we'll do one more main story and then I think we can call it a night. Because I gotta go have my dinner. Children of the Tempest. Oh, okay, back to the past. You can't do this. I was here first. I was here to space yesterday. Who cares if you did? We're from the basketball club and we have a game next week. Now get lost. During the sweltering lunch break, a group of boys cornered Jang in an inconspicuous part of the playground. But there's more than one court here. Why do you have to... The game next week takes place on this court, so we're getting familiar with it. Got it? Boy steps closer. Jang tries to step away only to find himself back against the fence. We've been watching you for 20 minutes. You couldn't sink a single shot. Even those at the zoo played better than you. But I have to be honest, I didn't notice something special about you. He's exceptionally gifted at being completely talentless. You should start a circus club instead. You can't just... Stone flies out from within the group and strikes him. He instinctively raises his arm to shield himself. Sharp smack, a bloody gash appears on his side. Enough talking, loser. Get lost already. Jeering students swarm around him, shoving him back and forth like a ball. Know your place, ringmaster. Apologize and beat it. I didn't do anything wrong. The rule says everyone gets to play. What a stickler for rules. No wonder you don't have any friends. So soft and weak. It's why you always have to tag along with someone else. What happens next time? Go on, I'm listening. Suddenly a blonde figure charges to the center of the crowd. You! Before the boy can finish, Yujenka delivers another kick to his face, knocking him to the ground. Bet that wasn't soft or weak. Or should I knock out a couple of your teeth, too? The crowd instantly falls silent, all eyes turning to the girl behind them. Stands with her arms crossed, glaring at them with a raised eyebrow. Boss! Who are you? This babysitter? Boss, that's Yujenka. Oh, the one from the parachute club? Whose parents were Air Force martyrs? Brow suddenly furrows as she steps forward. Mention them again and I promise I'll knock you down so hard you'll be flying through the air. Then I'm going to crawl back to whatever hole you came from. That's Yujenka's clenching his injured arm. I've heard you're quite the fighter, but no matter how good you are, you've only got 2 fists. He raises his hand and several more boys approach. Opposing figures casting a united shadow over Yujenka. The credits for the long-distance race should have been ours. Thanks to you, we might lose our shot at being titled the Dominic Patrol now. So, why is it my fault that you're trash? Wait, what? The Dominic Patrol? The fuck's that supposed to mean? Are they talking about the Dominic though? Yujenka scans the crowd with disdain, losing her collar. Slowly rolls up her sleeve. Is this everyone? You need some time to think about how to explain to your parents why you're going home looking like a bruised mess. Get it. Stop. Sharp commanding voice calls out, stopping everyone in motion. Yujenka, are you getting into fights again? Margaret, what are you doing here? Doesn't the basketball club have a game next week? How are you going to explain to your coach and the school if someone gets injured? Are you the transfer student? Scout groups engaging in brawls constitutes a serious violation that could disqualify you from tomorrow's final assessment. The pre-assessment rally is this afternoon. Do you really want to become the school's laughingstock at this critical moment? Speaks rapidly, clearly not wanting to leave them any room for argument. Leave now and we can pretend we didn't see anything. Otherwise, you can forget about your game and say goodbye to any chance at the Dominic Patrol title. Oh, and Major Lee will make sure each of you gets a beating. Hearing Navati is warned, the boys exchange glances before all turning back to their tunnel. You parachuting circus freaks got lucky this time. We're leaving. Boss, Avantia, thank you both. Next time they cause trouble, I'll be... Fearing the gaze pouring into her bag, Jajenka suddenly goes quiet mid-sentence. I'll find Major Lee. Are you heard anywhere else? Do you want us to go with you to the infirmary? I'm fine. It's just a small cut on my arm. Go to the infirmary by myself. I head out now. Thank you all. I could have handled it myself, but I should still think... Don't bother. The three of us belong to the same patrol. I don't want our group's evaluation to suffer because of one person. I refuse to fall behind the others. But then she walks away without looking back, leaving Jajenka and Margaret standing there in sudden silence. Navatia. In the soft afternoon light, Jajenka's pale yellow bracelet glints brightly. Jajenka, you and Navatia made up yet? Have you apologized to her? Hey you. Seeing Jajenka hang her head, she suddenly claps right next to her ear. You scared me. What was that for? You know, Navatia might seem cold on the outside, but she's actually really generous and kind-hearted. Just take a little initiative and I'm sure she'll warm up to you. You keep obsessing over the past, you'll miss out on tomorrow's sunshine. Your pilot protects the skies. Gotta be more proactive, you know? Got it. So, pinky promise? From now on, if something like this happens again, you'll find Navatia first, or at least come to me. Under the azure sky, Margaret holds out her pinky finger. Yeah, pinky promise. Setting sun bathes the spires of Kardaki Research Institute, casting a magnificent shadow across the Unity Square below. Nearly 1,000 young students gather beneath. Since the Institute normally prohibits public entry, most are visiting for the first time. They face a lively excitement as they take in the spectacular surroundings. It's so tall and big, like a super duper chocolate bar. I just got inspired. I'm gonna try to make you one tonight. That's the Alliance Heritage Monument, Margaret. We covered it in cultural studies yesterday. Oops, I was too busy thinking about what fruits to use in my cake during class. Shaped like a fountain pen representing the scientific community and the entire Actilite Commercial Alliance. Commemorates how they transformed Kardaki from ruins into a global technological hub. See the inscription on it? Oh, that thing. I thought we were talking about the big tower, but yeah, that does look like a pen. For a better tomorrow. I remember now. That's what's written on the first page of the Scout Handbook. Yeah, this was the Kardaki's motto. Where's Navatia? She was chosen to be part of the staff. She's probably helping backstage right now. Chosen. Jajenka glances at the 3 connected seats she fought so hard to secure. That's outside. Zoe's stealing the spotlight. Guided by the staff, students begin taking their seats. Soon after, a tall figure emerges from backstage. Scouts, our rally is about to begin. Please maintain silence. Now, please give our keynote speaker a warm round of applause. It's Comrade Gregory, a distinguished worker who served honorably in Kardaki's industrial frontline for 30 years. Esteemed Scouts, comrades from all sectors of society, good afternoon to you all. With a powerful yet tinged with nervousness, his fingers repeatedly brushing against the oak panel of the lectern. Actually, I wasn't supposed to be the one sitting at this podium today, but my old liver condition flared up again 2 days ago. When I opened my eyes, the doctor informed me to have less than 2 months left to live. As a worker, I understand that the true measure of an endeavor's greatness lies not in its glamour, but its ability to withstand the trials of time. So, it What little time I have left is to make a final contribution to the cause I hold so dear. Lifts his head with pride as he says that, his gaze sweeping over the children in the audience, voice no longer hesitant and nervous. 30 years ago, a piece of shrapnel struck my liver during the war. The doctor said the wound would eventually rupture again. When that happened, I certainly died from poisoning. No one knows when that day will come. It could be an hour, a week, even 10 years. Hangs over me like the sword of Damocles, casting every day of my life into a waking nightmare. I couldn't see any meaning in such an existence. And one day, Actilec launched their plan to rebuild Kardaki. I became one of the first pioneers to set foot on those ruins. Those who journeyed with me were mostly young people affected by the war. Actilec gave us an official designation, the Kardaki Scouts. I'll never forget that bitter winter when over 400 of us scouts trudged through snow and wind to lay a narrow gauge railway across the river bridge, carrying steel and wooden planks from on our shoulders. A snowstorm had plunged Kardaki into minus 30 degrees. Should the Kartakians had access to coal and firewood, we worked around the clock, fearing that even a moment's rest might leave someone suffering in the cold. We completed it and I collapsed from exhaustion. Opened my eyes, I beheld an enormous fireball soaring into the sky. Its flames cut through the biting snow and wind, shining even brighter than the sun itself. I later learned that it was the Lion's 10, a rocket built by the Kartakians themselves. Countless tons of steel and fuel had traveled along the tracks we laid, carrying the Golden Age's ambitions to space. That moment, I finally understood the meaning of life. To live and to labor. These are what bind you and me together in our struggle for one magnificent dream. In our collective struggle, even the humblest achievement becomes noble. And even the smallest individual becomes sublime. 10 years ago, the youth and workers of Kardaki once again defied mockery and doubt, for the outside to successfully overcome the energy conversion challenge of the mind, completing Kardaki React number 4. Sweeps his arm through the air to look at the towering structure behind him. Today, it still roars beneath this building, saying the daily needs of 35,000 Kartakians. Comrades, what a magnificent achievement this is! We used to live within this golden dream, until 1 year ago when the punishing virus descended upon our world. Okay, so yeah, at this point it's been a year since. It's destroyed our modern way of life, brought unprecedented war and death to the entire world. Humanity, civilization, now stands at a crossroads unlike any we faced before. Comrades, the enemy we face is formidable, but is not invincible as some nihilists would have you believe. These past few months, we successfully halted the punishing virus's advance in both the Atlantic and Kalwal. So what if we lost our technology? We created it, and we can just as well shut it down. As long as our spirit of unity and sacrifice endures, the Golden Age isn't over. We'll weather this storm together. What determines a person's worth has never been what you can achieve, but rather what you're willing to sacrifice for a righteous cause. My dear young scouts, your parents' generation and mine fought and bled to create the beautiful world we have today. Today, that same sacred duty falls upon your shoulders. We will not allow the punishing virus to advance one step further. We'll continue to live brilliantly and labor passionately for everything we hold dear. For a better tomorrow! Raised on high and square erupts thunderous cheers. Enthusiastic students rise to their feet, paying respect to the tearful old worker on the stage. Whether or not they fully grasped Gregory's speech, students have undoubtedly recognized the dramatic shifts of their era, felt the sense of purpose through his words. No longer individuals, but a community, bound together to live and labor. It seems that every person, every small effort, can influence the course of history. Of course, some do not buy into this fervent idealism. More propaganda. Motivational speeches defeat that punishing virus. I was hoping to see Colonel Pavlov. Hear about actual combat. Oh right, yeah, that's who the general was, or yeah, Colonel Pavlov. He was the guy with the 3 stars. You there. Watch your mouth. Since when were you sitting behind me? I'm just saying, all this propaganda is useless and stupid. People don't live just to suffer. So, got any brilliant insights to add? This is our history. All Kotakians must know what they're fighting for. Conviction and discipline are what makes someone pick up a gun and win battles. If our army was full of people like you, we wouldn't stand a chance against the punishing virus. I'm not gonna keep arguing with you. Hey you, what do you think? Ignore him, Margaret. Me? I think it's wonderful that we all got to participate in this event together. That old man has lived through so much. If this is what he wanted to share at the end of his life, he must think it's really important. Are we missing the point if we're fighting over something like that? Margaret smiles as she gazes toward the distant podium. The applause gradually subsides, majestic string music fills the air, signaling the start of the rally's performances. Children turn toward the stage in unison, where a red flag waves proudly in the breeze, emblazoned with the motto of their era: For a better tomorrow. The hill in the back. Okay. Instead of returning to the dormitory after the rally ends, Nervanti heads to the hill behind the school, carrying her training firearms. For most people, Gregory's speech was inspiring, but hardly profound. But it was different for Nervantia. His words filled her with a surging vitality. She witnessed a vivid example of a patient earning his place in the world through hard work. This means that even marginalized, lost people like her can connect with others through their efforts, carve out their place in the world. She climbs up to the training grounds on the hill, removes the rifle from her bag, and casually selects a shooting window. There she discovers a wooden sign with a name that makes her blood boil. Stop trembling. Target won't pity you. Tchenka, highest scoring shooter on this range. Yeah. Holding her rifle, she stares at the sign for a long time before closing her eyes and taking deep breaths. Tries to picture Tchenka's face on the target and then... Okay, I think that's good enough for now. I know I haven't got too much. I'm like almost a third there. But it's fine because, again, I am also partially doing this too. So, yeah, very interesting. I will say Nervantia she's definitely a character. I can definitely say that much. But yeah, when we come back to this, we'll definitely continue with more main story. Oh, it's getting smaller too, I realize now. Because now we don't see her eye. Like her hand is like growing smaller. Makes me think, why is that, right? And again, it's growing bigger, the sapling. And we only have half of this left, but again, it's good that I did check with Chapter 3, and yeah, it's not really spoiling me much on stuff with the Kartaki incident. So I could probably do all of this with more main story in the next stream, at the very least. And then we could probably finish with the last one. But yeah, getting very interesting. The Red Mist, I like that it's a different concept from the Red Tide. Very unique. And this time we're seeing John Doe again. Because, I mean, to be fair, I thought it would be like a whole, like probably couple more, like maybe 3 more chapters before we saw John Doe again. So, interesting. And again, it's like, is he actually working with that same group that's starting to gather together? Or is he like on his own? Or does it have to do with someone else? I honestly don't even know. Because honestly, we still haven't seen Lilith and the other Ascendants from back then, so it's like, what are they up to nowadays? But yeah, it definitely is starting to get interesting with this whole thing. Like, not only with the mystery of Lenore, but also what exactly happened in the Kartaki that destroyed everything that they had, right, for a better tomorrow. But we'll see when we get there. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy the stream for tonight. Like I said, tomorrow I will do a Wuthering Waves stream. We will finish Sigrika's storyline, so then we can focus a bit more on Punishing Grey Raven, because we'll probably have to do this in like 2 more streams at the pace we're going to complete it. I mean, to be fair, I did at least do it almost like 3.5 hours, so it's not bad. And like I said, I am enjoying it. Nervantia is very interesting. and again, it's like I'd like to learn about this place too, because it's like, again, it makes you wonder still, why did Babylonia decide to keep it a secret, or why did they make it seem like whatever happened here never happened, right? Especially if they have a survivor from their Nervatia in Babylonia, why make it such a secret? What's so bad about learning about it? Does it maybe have to do with something about like Dominic's patrol and everything? Because again, I start to wonder, why do they call it Dominic's patrol? Is it like it was meant to be like a new group for like whenever a new Dominic shows up? But it's not like it's not like they're from the mining corps or anything like that, knowing about trying to make Teddy into the next Dominic or anything. So I wonder what that implies. Is this something major, or is it just like a little extra thing on the side? I don't know. But like I said, it's getting interesting. But anyway, if you guys did enjoy the stream but already found the channel, please make sure to leave a follow. Much appreciated. Check out my YouTube channel where I post out the vlogs, subscribe as well. Go to Discord if you guys already. Links to all those are in the channel. But this has been Xander's Voice. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night. See you guys next time.